Drip drip.
Hello, and welcome to the
Lux.
podcast, where we talk about anything and everything, past and present, morally, unmorally correct, and seeing of both political sides. Today, we have a guest, and his name is Yevhen Hunko.
What up?
How you doing, Yevhen?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm doing great,
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Yevhen Hunko, and I don't know, gonna be 28 in 2 weeks.
No.
November 28.
Yeah, that's a special day.
Yeah. No more parties though. Last year we went fucking ham in Thatcher House, a little too hard. Yeah, rented out half the fucking place. Spent like $2,700. That was too much, man.
Why don't you just get the open bar at that point?
I did. I got open bar and food and everything. Appetizers, food, main course. I got the whole nine for like 4 hours. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
$2,700. Yeah,
Oh,
for like
shit.
30 people.
Not bad.
Well, I told
not bad.
Sebastian, I'm like, Sebastian, it's coronavirus. I'm like, I want a birthday party. He goes, all right, how many people? And I'm like, the whole place. He goes, I can't give you the whole fucking place. And I'm like, what's the max? He goes, 15. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to scumbag him to another 15, you know. I'll take the 15, I'll put another 15 on top of it last minute, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So I took 15, and then like every week I'm like, another 5. He goes, all right. So he gave me like the back tables, you know.
Okay, yeah.
They gave me like 3 or 4 big back tables. And then in the front, they still had people eating and shit. But we were fucked up. He goes, a present for me to you, like, gives me Sitanufka bottles, 2 bottles per table. And I'm like, I don't want this shit because, like, we're going to get bombed. Every 5 minutes, you know, I didn't eat anything every 5 minutes. I fucking walked out of there. I blacked out. Ivan drove me home. I blacked out. Ivan drove me to his house. I blacked out. And we're drinking and shit. Every 5 minutes, it's open bar, so nobody's going to the bar. Everybody's drinking the fucking shots, you know, it's a fucking waste. And, bro, they were following, Sebastian was following me with the fucking, they were following me with shots outside, smoking cigarettes. They were coming to me with shots outside. And I'm like, I can't be doing this shit no more, man. This is killing me. So I'm gonna probably do a little small party on Saturday, Saturday.
That's lit.
And maybe like 10 people, small party at Thatcher House. Nothing crazy anymore. I'm done
I
partying.
got top the house though.
It's always Thatcher. I've been there since day one. Hell, the fuck, I was there when this getting built. Now I'm gonna be there, you know, till I die.
Might as well, honestly.
Shit like that.
Till I die, man. It's my family. Sebastian's family. I love that guy. Love the whole family.
Yeah, they're good peers.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for Olivia to text me back, you know. One day.
She listens.
One day.
She does.
One day, Olivia. Let me know. I'll take care of you.
I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, my birthday's coming up soon. We'll do that, and then it's
28. Fuck.
28, and that's it. It's over from then. Gotta get married, have kids.
Yeah, we got.
Still gotta sell all my cars. Gotta sell everything.
I can't see
Get
that happening
a regular
anytime soon for you.
get a regular 9 to 5 job.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that.
Wait, what do you actually do for a living?
Yeah.
I do nothing. I apply for zero every year. George does my taxes. He can vouch for that.
Does he do taxes?
He does for the past four or 5 years. It's been zero. Yeah, I'm lucky for that. I haven't got audited yet, so thank God. All PayPal, Venmo money. Don't put any money in your bank account.
Yeah, because Venmo and Cash App, they're trying to.
They have so. They're not gonna find out because you as long as you keep the balance in your account, you have the Venmo, Cash App, fucking PayPal debit cards now.
Yeah.
You can use that. It's a cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
You can keep that cryptocurrency in your account, but the minute you start transferring it to your bank account, you can get taxed on it. So that's why they started making like the crypto ATMs, the crypto fucking debit cards, credit cards, because you can use that money now without getting fucked.
Yeah,
so,
it's smart.
there's ways around it, you know. Every year I make a little bit more money, and then it's get to the point where I have to now claim eventually or make a bigger shop, and the bigger shop is coming. You know, me and one business partner, we're gonna do it soon, but we're gonna actually do it before coronavirus. There's a place in Rockaway we found, but it didn't work out, and then coronavirus hit, every property went up fucking double, especially commercial property. It's impossible. And to get I want to buy a place because if you rent a place,
It's too much.
Your mortgage is going to be cheaper than to rent. Let's put it that way.
What about leasing?
It's a waste. It's a waste. You have to buy a piece of land and build because I want a big warehouse. I want at least 5,000, 6,000 square feet, which I can work on my cars, have lifts in the open areas. Nothing
in storage.
That's the next thing I was going to tell you. Storage. So I'm actually getting into the storage business soon. We're gonna fucking rent a place, and we're gonna get those 4-post lifts to keep cars on this and that, and it's passive money. So you put 10, 20, 30,000 into this business, and you just collect. There's no maintenance, there's no overhead. It's all passive money.
People keep their nice cars in there during the winter time.
Exactly. Around around here, any place around here, like my area, it's usually $400 a month to keep a spot.
That's still a good amount of money, like passive
And
income.
at 400, you're not really getting anything crazy.
Yeah.
A storage unit to fit a car is usually $350 a month. It's a storage unit. For 400, you're getting actually a place that has more cars next to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now for 8 to 1,000, you get like a nice exotic place. There's a place in Fairfield that does it. They charge like 8 to 1,000, but that place is like off the hook, bro. Like it has a lounge, it has like food, refrigerators in it. Like you can smoke cigars in there. You can interact with people. It's like a whole clubhouse, 24 hours a day. And you look at supercars. You look at crazy ass fucking $1 million cars all day long.
Have you ever been?
No, I haven't been. It's like a Top Gear in Southbrook.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of similar to that, but it's in
That's
Fairfield.
dope.
Yeah, it's off of 46.
Damn. Okay.
So there is money in that. So that's my next step, and then after that, we'll see how it goes. 'Cause I don't want to be a mechanic for any longer.
Yeah.
I'm fucking dying, bro.
Yeah.
It's not.
Nah, it's rough.
It's a rough fucking business, you know.
What are your goals? Like your goal estimates for like all of this outside?
So next couple of years, you know, I'm gonna do that car storage place soon, next year or two, and then from there, I want a bigger shop.
Yeah.
That's the goal. But to get a bigger shop, I need at least $800 to $1 million.
Yeah.
Because we're starting from the ground up. We're gonna get property. We're gonna buy a piece of property in my area, and I want to at least set 5,000 to 6,000 square foot like warehouse, like a steel building, that's not bad to put in. But you know, I want the way I have it in my head. I won't take anything less than that.
Yeah.
I want exactings because I've been in the business for so long, and I worked at so many shops. It's all a shit show, man.
Yeah.
It sucks, dick. You do it too, man. Like you see it all, and it's
It's
a cutthroat industry, and it's probably finding good mechanics, bro.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
Every shop I worked at like 6-7 shops over the years, and there's always that one good mechanic at every shop.
Yeah, there always is.
And they don't want him to leave because they'll keep paying him more. But that's the guy who puts the fucking everything together in that shop. Everybody else just
he's the one that makes up for everybody.
Yeah, there's parts changers. You know, they'll get a brake job in. They'll cross out a fucking bolt. That's not my problem, you know.
And
get it back.
then that person that's good gotta come and fix it.
And then it's gonna come back, and then things cross needs a caliper, and like then the good mechanics, you know, they're gonna tap and drill it, this and that. They're gonna fix it because it's coming out of the boss's fucking pocket, man. Yeah. Just like you worked for me, Kevin, one time. You know, you fucked up. Slav was the biggest fuck up.
Really?
Bro, Slav cost me. You were still decent, you know. Everybody fucks up. I tell people, everybody who works for me, like, I fuck up. Bro, I fuck up in the beginning. I mean, when I was a mechanic, I learned from my fuck ups. Everybody learns from their fuck ups.
Especially
That's
if they're coming out of your pocket.
Exactly. That's the only way to learn.
When you're young, you don't realize it. You know, it's like, I'm getting the job done, boom, boom. It comes back. You don't care, but the boss is fucking flipping shit.
Exactly.
You know, it's coming out of his pocket. And I didn't understand that in the beginning, really, until I started my own place. And every time something has to come back, you're losing. And God forbid it has to get towed back. You have to pay for that tow.
Yeah.
And then God forbid they don't die, wheels don't fall off, if something happens, this and that.
You're liable.
That's why a mechanic has a minimum of $1 million insurance. If you're starting a fucking company, it's $1 million minimum for insurance. Because of liabilities.
Yeah.
Say a lift falls on. I had a lift fall on one time before too. Lift falls on you, fucking kills you. What are you gonna do? And I'm over there working by myself at night. They're not gonna find me until next morning.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I have no insurance, so it's on me, you know. This and that. But again, like everybody fucks up. I tell everybody who comes to my shop, they all want to learn about cars. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, don't pay me. I'm like, listen, I'll pay you. I'll buy you lunch, breakfast, dinner, where the fuck long we stay. I'll pay you the $60, $50, $80 a day, cash, whatever. But listen, like if I tell you to do something, I don't trust people. So when I see somebody doing the job, it hurts to watch. Yeah. You know, if you know what I'm saying, it hurts to watch. They're like over there with that one boy, you're like, oh, like let me fucking do it, man. You know. And like I tell everybody, like. You fuck up, tell me. Yeah. I have $200,000 in tools. We'll fix it. Yeah. You know, as long as the car doesn't leave, we can fix it. I have bolts. We can fucking drill a bolt, this and that. We can fix something. We can get a new part in before the customer comes back. Yeah. Like we can do everything. Once that car leaves,
it's out of your hands.
It's not gonna come back tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Yeah. It's gonna come back. And now you're wasting time that you haven't. Say you have another car coming in that day. Yeah. Now that car has to get pushed back. Now I have to do this car for free all over again. You know, and I gotta pay you again to do it. You know, this and that. It's that's why I don't trust nobody, man. That's why I had a couple guys working for me, and it was Slav was the biggest fucking shit.
What did he do though?
Yo, what didn't he do? He fucking he's too much, man. He's all over the fucking place, you know. Like he's a good kid. Get him wrong, like. you think you know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. You need at least 5 years experience in the car business to know what the fuck you're doing. Anything. It's a minimum of 5 years. Anything you're doing.
Anything,
5 years is like that time
Most places
frame.
won't even hire you if you don't want
It's 5 years, bro. 5 years. They won't even look at you without 5 years. That's why you gotta lie to them. You have your fucking 5 years. It's freaking crazy. They'll hire you like for oil changes and tires in the beginning for $10 to $12 an hour. And then what are you going to be doing? Oil change and tires for 5 years? That's your 5 year experience? No. I lied my way in. I was doing tires and oil changes for a year. Then I got another job. And the guy goes, what do you know to do? You know, and I'm like, oh, I know how to do everything. Gives me a fucking timing job, first job. And I'm like, oh, fuck. You know, there goes a guy in Pinebrook. I'm like, fuck. But I did it. You know, that's how you learn. You get jobs. They trust you with jobs. There's a time frame for jobs. You know, like a timing job pays you 8 hours and that. Of course, it's going to take you less than 8 hours. Yeah. But the boss, you know, the shops are going to charge the 8. And that's why they pay you the money. If say you do this job in 4 hours. Yeah. And they're charging you 8, they're going to pay you a little more now. They're going to pay you $20, $25, $30 an hour. My max was $30 an hour when I left the shop last time. I got paid $30. $30 for an hourly mechanic, it's a lot, bro. And I was young. I was working with guys who had 40 years experience, and they couldn't take a fucking drain plug out, trying to sell people oil pans. And I'm like, bang a fucking socket on there, get it out. With their little ass Craftsman toolbox, this fucking big, bro. Which I have, my 5th year in fucking working, had a $12,000 box with like another 50 grand inside it. Now I have 200 grand and shit, you know? And tools are, people don't understand tools, like I buy SnapOn only now. Dude, it's fucking, they bend you over and fucking shove it in there so hard with a smile on their face.
SnapOn is basically like the Gucci and Louis of tools.
It's worse than that, man. It's fucking worse than that. It's like the Ferrari of fucking tools, man.
Basically, yeah. But I'm talking about like luxury, like fashion. I'm talking about basically.
The one nice thing, you know, like, I wish I kind of knew this beforehand when I was a young mechanic. Only buy SnapOn. Yeah. Don't be buying no Macco, Cornwell, because the SnapOn guy is there's always a SnapOn guy in every shop, and they'll never go out of business. As long as they're car mechanics, SnapOn's always go out of business. I had my Mac guy go out of business, Cornwell guy twice go out of business, Macco guy went out of business twice, and all the tools I had from them, they're garbage. I can't warranty them. Yeah. SnapOn guy, that's why I only buy SnapOn now. They're all lifetime.
They are, but the
even Craftsman out of business like a couple years ago.
Really?
Now Craftsman got out by Lowe's. Yeah. But this is the fucked up part about Lowe's. You go to exchange your Craftsman tool, and Craftsman's lifetime warranty. The Craftsman was like 30, 50 years ago. The old shit was made in America. Now it's like even SnapOn's made in China now. Yeah. It's not made in America no more. And you go to Lowe's to exchange your Craftsman tool because they got bought out, and they go, "Where's the receipt?" I'm like, "My nigga, this is a 20-year-old tool." What do you mean receipt? Why
would I have the receipt?
Yeah, and they won't exchange it without a receipt. That's fucked up, you know? And you have to go to like 4 different Lowe's until you find one guy who doesn't give a shit and just fucking exchanges it, you know? Yeah. Like I tell people, if you're not a mechanic, if you're just like a weekend thing, Harbor Freight all day long.
Yeah, obviously.
Harbor Freight, they have lifetime warranty on like their hand tools and shit like that, but it'll break. It's gonna fucking break, you know?
You're replacing that thing a few times.
But you're not using those tools every day. You're using that maybe once a week.
Yeah, everything I got at work is SnapOn. Everything I got at the house is mostly fucking Harbor Freight. Because I'm like, why the fuck am I buying toys?
And then there's some stuff that's great for Harbor Freight. You know, like their toolboxes. You don't need a fucking $20,000 toolbox.
That's true.
You can open the drawer and stand on. That's what the guy got me. He brought me in the truck. He goes, I can stand on the top drawer. Or the bottom drawer, any drawer, stand on. And I'm like, I need this. I'm like, yeah, what do I do? What do I do? I sit down lunchtime and open my toolbox to eat my food because it's a nice table. Yeah. Oh my god, bro. You open my first drawer, I have like fucking 1,000 sockets, bro.
Yeah, but they weigh a lot, bro.
Yeah, none of them are 10 millimeter.
Every time I move my toolbox.
Are any of them a 10 millimeter?
Tow truck, bro. Yeah. Oh, I have like 110 millimeters, bro.
Fuck you.
I have every size socket, like say like 1/4 inches, 3/8, half inch. I have small, mediums, and larges of every single size. I have like fucking 100 socket sets. You know, it's retarded.
Did Slav ever organize them like I did?
The best guy to organize is Alberto. Alberto knows my tools better than I know my tools. Yeah.
Did he have OCD?
Alberto can do it. I can't do. You see me? I throw my tools and I come back the next day, and I know where I threw them. Yeah. And I know I'm like.
But the thing is, if you have another guy in there, he moves them. You're fucked.
Yeah. Somebody moves it, and I'm like, I threw my wrench over there yesterday. Where the fuck did my wrench go? And I'm like going crazy, and Alberto's like, I put it back. I'm like, why the fuck would you put it back? And I'm like, I want to organize your shit, you know. But once it's organized, I know where it goes when it's organized, you know. But once I start taking shit out, I'll never put it back, bro. Like, I want to go home after work. Fuck that. But I tell people, you know, I wish I knew this back in the day. Only by Snap. If you're gonna do this full time, which 99% of mechanics don't want to do it after the first couple of years because it doesn't pay.
It's rough.
It's a rough industry. You're working in the heat. You're working in the cold. It sucks dick. You're coming home. You're coming home black. You're banged up, bruised. You're getting injured all the fucking time. it's a rough industry, and you don't get paid what you should be fucking getting paid. If you're in diesel, I understand diesel mechanics get paid like 16 an hour because they're charging like 200 an hour.
Yeah, it depends. It depends where you are. Yeah.
And one shop, they scumbagged me into working on ambulances, diesel ambulances for the town, and I did it for half a year. And I told the boss, I'm like, listen, I'm okay for like working on diesel. It's more experience for me, but instead of paying me $17, give me $20. He goes, I can't pay you anymore. Yeah. I'm like, you fucking dick. Like, you're a dick because I'm doing all these ambulances. They barely fit in through the door. I have to deflate the tires to get it in. And I'm doing brake jobs on the ground because no lift can fucking pick it up. And the brake jobs are fucking like 3 feet inside the wheel well. Yeah. And they're like this fucking big, the rotors and shit. Yeah, you got the fucking ambulance box and shit. Go take it on the block, test drive. I was like, want me to test drive a fucking ambulance truck? I don't give a shit.
That's what I did fire trucks too.
Bro, I remember a fucking 16-wheeler, fucking not 16-wheeler, fucking like an 8-wheeler, fucking flatbed, like those for like junkyards. They have guy. It came in one day and it has a Caterpillar motor. Guy goes scan it. I'm like, we can't scan these fucking trucks, bro. Like this truck's the size of the shop. Like, what am I gonna scan? You gotta buy the software to scan it. And he goes out and buys it, you know? And the next day I scan it and I'm like, and he's just go, test drive it. I'm not fucking test driving. You need a CDL for this shit. I'm not test driving this shit. You're crazy. And I still test drove it, but. Yeah. People are stupid. Like, God forbid you do get in an accident. Most of the times your insurance will cover that. Because you're not supposed to be fucking working on it or test driving it. It's stupid, you know?
Yeah, boy, this is a crazy industry.
It's the stupidest industry in the fucking world, honestly.
Yeah, you saw my snaps the other time. I think I sent you them last week.
You pull motors all day long.
Oh, yeah. And the guy, like, a customer changed his own oil. Instead of jacking it up by the frame, jack it up by the oil pan. Made a fucking hole.
My God.
But he was aware of it, towed it to the shop, everything was perfect. We never put a no oil label on it. We're painting the parking lot. All the trucks had to go, so the manager's like, move all the fucking trucks.
Oh no.
They rode around the block, locked up, and who paid for it?
You didn't hear when it first started up the fucking...
Well, I wasn't there. It was on the weekend. They drove it. The lights were on. I mean, the truck's there for a reason, right?
Was it 6.0?
No, it's a 3.0 turbo.
Oh, the diesels.
And Sprinter vans.
Yeah.
They locked it up.
Those blue techs are fucking trash.
2020 van. Locked it up.
Yeah, you're liable for it. Yeah. Like it's not coming out of the bosses. He's gonna go through the insurance, you know. But
he tried. They didn't
go.
Yeah, they said they'll cover a quarter of it. He's like, fuck it, I'm not. My insurance ain't going up for a quarter of the fucking point.
Yeah.
22 grand out.
Plus he has to pay the deductible on the insurance. It's not.
So he's like, no, he ate it. 22K.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
One little stupid thing like that.
And it was literally like a $600 job, which we would have get paid for. Now you paying them. Pretty much.
And there's times the car comes in, I'm looking at these parts, like I'm doing a suspension piece, and I'm looking at them, it's all rotted out. I shouldn't be taking the job in because I know everything I touch is gonna break. Customer doesn't know that. I'm trying to tell the customer, listen, if I touch this is gonna break. This is gonna break. Oh, why? Why? They think you're robbing them.
Yeah. No, they do.
And that's why I tell you, you've seen this before. I would take people under the car and I'm like, look, this is your issue. And they'd be like, oh, okay. Yeah. Half your motor's leaking. You know, where do you want to start? Yeah. Like, what do you want me to do? And I'm very fair. You know, I see people, if people have no money, car comes in, it's a piece of shit. I'm not going to recommend them fucking 3,000 hours of fucking work. We're going to start little by little. We're going to do a brake job, maybe a tire, maybe this, that. We're going to work our way up.
Yeah,
you know? You can't scare customers. Once you tell them $3,000, they're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, some customers, you literally got to show them what the hell you're doing.
Yeah. And most of my customers have trust in me, and they don't ask me prices. They go, here's the car, do it. You know? They don't ask. They come back, they call me, how much? Oh, okay, I'll give you cash. That's it. And it's the people who don't have money pay you. It's the people who have the money, why so much? Why this? Can I get my own part? This and that. And it's people who have the money. People who can't afford even to pay the rent are paying you fucking... they're paying you up front. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. You know, it's fucked up.
I worked on a semi. Remember the semi did the job and shit? He came over today at 10 o'clock in the morning. He was putting like a heater in his truck, right? I'm like, alright, screw it. Come over, do it yourself. He did it. He's like, order me an exhaust manifold. I ordered it last night. It was $600. He's like, alright, here's $7. He paid me today in cash, and I'm still waiting on it. Like,
who cares? Yeah, at that point.
Like I just ordered it. I'm not even gonna put it on.
You did it. Might as well. Yeah. I don't blame.
It's like those are good customers.
Those are the people that you want to keep around. But then
his Benz is chilling there. I still gotta do that. I might do it tomorrow.
That's his Benz. Oh, I thought it was like at this point. He's been sitting there for so long.
No, and the minivan and the Benz before that. These are all his.
Oh, so he's getting free fucking parking. Yeah. That's why he's hooking you up.
No, but it's fine. Like, I don't care. He's my, like, uncle, but he fucking...
I got customers, too, bro. One guy calls me, because a while back. He goes, I need an oil change. Drops the truck off, right? Call him the next day. I'm like, all right, it's done, you know. He goes, no, I'm in Canada for the next, like, 8 days.
What?
So you're gonna drop your truck off for an oil change and leave it here for 8 fucking days, bro?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No, that's
kind of smart. And
It's not the first time it happened. It happened a couple times. Actually, happened 2 weeks ago to me again. Yeah. It happens, bro, because they don't want to keep their car like anywhere else.
Yeah.
They know it's safe with me.
Exactly.
But I'll be fucking driving that car around for fucking weeks.
Exactly.
Putting miles on that shit. I don't give a shit. I drive a new car every fucking day. My parents are like, why are you driving like every car every day? I'm like, because I can.
Yeah.
Because I have 10 cars at my disposals I can drive on. I don't give a shit. And half the cars, no paperwork, but I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
Don't get pulled over.
One question I do have for you, Yevhen, though. Out of all your experience, what was the best and the worst vehicles that you've ever worked on, I would say?
The worst vehicles is my favorite vehicle, Subarus.
Oh,
they're fucking
I'm
shit
saying,
boxes,
like,
bro.
a specific vehicle,
He
like
knows.
someone that like brought their car to you, okay, and also the best vehicle that a car has been brought to you.
I don't know what definition would be the best vehicle.
The best,
Best
as in,
is
like
it covered for so much
like,
issues you
probably
change
the
your
most
fuse.
fun, like working on.
Oh, it recently happened to me. Volvo. The guy has a brand new Volvo, right? Not new, like a couple years old, but it's a newer style. XC60, fucking Platinum Edition, T6, straight 6, turbo, fucking hell of a fucking car. And he goes, I've been to like 3 mechanics and they're still playing the wheel, right? So I get on the lift and I feel the wheel and look, it feels like an inner tie rod, right? Mm-hmm. But it doesn't feel like an inner tie rod, you know? It feels like a rack because it feels like it's moving inside. And I can see it has new tie rods on it. So somebody's been in there trying to fucking do this shit, but it still has to play. And to do a rack on that thing, a rack costs about $1,500 because you never get a reman Volvo rack. You get a brand new rack from the dealer. It's $1,500 right there. And to install it, I would charge with the alignment another $500 to install it. You gotta drop the subframe, and that's a big fucking job. But again, this is where experience comes in. You know, every time you do a job, every time like you work with other people, you talk. Like cars come in. And I wasn't gonna sell them a rack, so I did some research because I back in the day I knew somebody told me there's an adjustment on those racks, and when you tell a mechanic there's an adjustment on a rack, they won't believe you. What the fuck's an adjustment on this? It makes no sense. Like where the fuck are you even adjusting the fucking rack? You know? But there's actually a little where the shaft goes, where the steering column goes into. There's a little circle, and you can put an Allen key in there and turn it, and it tightens it. It actually tightens the internals up. So I was Googling it, and I actually texted 2 of my other friends who have shops. And they go, it's a rack. And I'm like, I know it's a rack, but I know there's an adjustment. You guys ever deal with this adjustment? No, it's a rack. Change the rack. Call them a rack. And I told the customer, listen, this is going to be another fucking like $2,000 job, if not more. And I'm like, listen, we can try the adjustment. Adjustment took me 20 minutes, and it fixed the problem. You know? Yeah. Charge them $200 for 20 minutes of work, but it's still saving $2,000.
Yeah, the customer happy at that
but I could have been a dick.
You could have.
I could have been like, I can take apart the rack and fix something inside the rack. He'll never know.
Yeah.
Charge him $1,000 and still do a 20-minute job.
People do that.
Yo, and they do it, and they look at you with a smile on their face, and they're right. But that's how you make the money, man. That's how you have to make the money in this industry. You can't be nice. You have to charge your parents for oil changes, bro.
That is why what's it called? A lot of people don't even trust mechanics anymore.
Yeah, because
exactly.
But that's the thing. That's where they make their money. So
everybody has
it's
that
a
one
lose-lose
mechanic
situation either way, no matter
and nobody wants to change them, even though they're getting fucked. They're not gonna change. I talk to so many people. I'm like, who's fixing your car? This guy. I'm like, don't you tell me you have all these issues and shit? Oh yeah, but he's been fixing my cars, my parents' cars, my cars for years, my whole life. They don't want to change the mechanics, bro. You have to like
loyalty at that point.
But they know they're getting fucked and they still don't want to change the mechanic. It's the weirdest industry in the world. And I'll tell them up to their face, I'm like, I'll do a job for free, like a little bullshit job. They're like, how much? I'm like, don't worry about it. No, let me give you some money. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. It took me 5 fucking minutes. Come to me for an oil change next time. Like, come in, let me do a service on your car. Oh, how much you charge for oil change? There's another thing with oil changes. I use top quality oil. You see this shit. Yes. I have thousands of dollars of foods. I'm like, it's all OEM, Mobile One, and good shit. Most of the places I worked at, we were talking before, they come from the barrel.
They're recycled shit.
Recycled shit. That's why when you pop the dipstick. When I first started being a mechanic, I thought all cars were shit boxes. Yeah. I thought all cars were supposed to eat oil and leak and this and that. Until my second job, a fucking Lexus, like a GS300 came in, like an older one, like a 2008, whatever. Had 250,000 miles on it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fuck this guy for something, bro. Like, get on the lift, I'm gonna find something wrong with it. Bro, I got in the air, there wasn't one drop of oil coming out of his motor. It looked brand new. Everything looked brand new in this car. And I'm like, I go to the boss and I'm like, yo, I must have a new motor in it. He goes, no, here's the service history. We've been servicing this car since it's brand new. Got this whole highway miles. I'm like, how? We use Mobile One full synthetic.
Yeah.
On every oil
This
change.
is the second shop.
This is the second shop we worked at in Pine Brook.
That makes sense.
And ever since then, you know, you can smell. You get go buy that $7. Go buy that $4 a quart oil.
And then buy it.
Open it up, smell it. It smells like shit, and it's dark, and it feels like shit.
No, it clearly comes out dark.
It looks like shit. It smells like shit.
Like nice and clear.
No.
man.
No,
clear,
only like high quality Mobile One,
Yeah.
Motul, like high quality oil. That's what you pay for. That's why it's expensive shit. It's clean.
Because it's
you
new
know?
oil. It's not.
That's true. Yeah.
It's not recycled oil. It's new oil. And it has like this shit inside that actually cleans like Dexo.
Yeah.
It has Dexos in it that cleans your fucking
yeah.
motor. I was doing a Toyota Corolla 2010 Toyota Corolla 2 days ago. Right, car has 130,000 on it. It's a good car, you know, this and that. Had a little valve cover leak, like the all Toyotas do, you know, at that time. So I popped the valve cover off, and Alberto was there, right? So I popped the valve cover off. He's holding the wiring harness for me. I look in the motor, and the motor's fucking silver inside. Like,
Clean.
bro, like
good quality oil
like
keeps it
fucking
clean.
brand, like a motor I just built, brand new inside. And I'm
What
like,
the
for 100,
fuck?
he goes, how it was his new motor? I'm like, damn. I'm like, this must be like a fucking well taken care of thing, you know? Like, holy shit. You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Good oil doesn't swell gas. That's why you get oil leaks. Shit oil swells gaskets up.
Yeah.
And that's when you get head gaskets, any rubber
Chemicals
seal.
inside.
It's the chemicals. They swell it up. You use good oil, they clean your motor. It's like transmission fluid. Transmission fluid isn't oil. You'll go in your driveway, pour oil. That would kill you though.
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
You already have oil stains in your fucking.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, you have oil stains and they don't come off, right?
No,
Pour
they
transmission fluid on your
And it
fucking.
washes it.
It actually washes off because if transmission fluid isn't oil, it's a detergent.
Yeah.
It cleans your transmission. This is why I tell people every 30,000. You've seen this shit. Every 30,000 in
It's
any
gonna
car, and you have to use only OEM fluid. If you use only other than
It's
OEM
made
fluid,
for it, bro.
it's gonna disintegrate the fucking transmission.
Yeah,
inside.
it cleans out the clutch pack. So
It
it's
cleans
not
the
fucking-
clutches, yeah. And that's why I tell people when they come in with 100,000 when I change the training fluid, I'm like, nope. Because that oil is so
dude,
dirty.
we did
it
that
keeps
before.
that thing inside there.
Yeah.
And remember I used to pour in that glue into the trannies?
Yes.
I pour that shit into every fucking car that comes in the high mileage because that glue saves, like, bro, it saves my customers so much money for that $5 bottle. It's glue.
Yeah.
It's fucking glue. They sell it for the power steering, the engine,
Everything.
and the tranny.
Everything.
And I have it all. I don't even charge customers for it because it's like a hit or miss. I'm like, I'm pouring it in.
Yeah.
If it works for you,
It works.
I had one guy with a Jeep come in, older Jeep Wrangler. His power steering box was pissing. Like, the more you pour it in, the more it fucking pisses out. I see it pissing out. It's a puddle of fucking oil. Bro, I pour in that Lucas shit. The power steering one's a little smaller. It's glue. I'm like, listen, drive it around for the day. Let me see how it is. He's like, yo, it stops leaking. So I saved this guy like $1,500 on the whole steering system for a $5 bottle of fucking glue.
I might need it from the transmission.
No, I just did your transmission.
I know, but still, like, I'm starting to feel my transmission.
Those trannies are fucking garbage.
They are. That's what
No, but we done like trans services where no one ever did it. You do it, and then the car won't move.
You shouldn't.
It
You
won't
shouldn't
move.
do it, yeah.
So we end up putting the old shit back in it.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's like
It's
all we
either
did
you
is change the filter.
It's like people they have a motor knob and try to sell the car. They pour gear oil on the fucking motor because it'll quiet the fucking motor.
You won't
down.
hear it. Yeah.
It's like your rear dips making noise because the bearings are going. You throw in like fucking peanut butter and bananas and sawdust because it'll keep that shit intact for 1,000 miles. Then it'll just grenade. You know? But you sold the car. It's not your issue no more.
Exactly, yeah, at that point.
No, people they usually put
So
sticker oil.
but then again, that is kind of the same exact thing. Not technically, but figuratively, I would say, in the same way of what like a mechanic does. Okay, to make money. Okay, but then again, people are selling the cars as shit boxes, doing all this shit to it just to present nicely.
There's a reason why people sell cars. Like say, if your car was good, you wouldn't sell it, right?
Yeah.
Why are people selling their used cars?
That's what I always
There has
think.
to be an issue.
Yeah.
You got to find the issue because they're gonna tell you.
But
If
then
they're nice
again-
enough, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
But
Like
if the guy says no issues, then you don't sell the fucking car.
Yeah.
It has to be a fucking
Don't buy
issue.
the car.
Don't buy
But
the
no,
car.
then at that point, what if you just boarded the car?
Nobody gets bored of their fucking car, bro.
I don't know.
And then you trade it into the dealer, bro.
Yeah, true. Or you
That's
get
true.
another one and keep that one, beat on it.
Yeah, you keep that one. Look, you are right. You are right. You know, most of the time somebody gets a newer car, and the dealership's giving them less trade-in. They'll sell it. That's a. You'll realize that yourself.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's got a new car. You can see his new car on the drive, like brand fucking new. You know, and I understand he's gonna make another $2 more grand selling to you than the dealer. The dealers are scumbags.
Yeah.
But most cases, if you're buying a shit box, it's just fucking shit box.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's-
then again, with my car, since I had my car 2 years ago already at this point, a little bit over that.
yeah.
Honestly, ever since I got it, it's been basically perfect. Besides like a couple of minor things, obviously like the fucking
shit.
boot.
That's well.
And also
that's Audi shit, bro.
Yeah. Then
Shit,
again,
we take
like
down.
as you were saying before, like.
You put a fucking $30 you put a $30 fucking axle from Rock Auto on there. You think it's gonna last you? The axle might last you. The rubber ain't gonna last you.
Exactly.
I mean, if you buy an OEM one, it would last.
That's what he's doing now. He's
That's
gonna
what
buy
I'm
OEM
doing.
boot, and we're gonna put it on.
Well, that's what I'm gonna wait for. I'm waiting.
Because the Audi wheels, they turn so heavy. The angle on them is so heavy.
Does your rear steer or no?
No, there's no rear steer. But for Audis and German cars, BMWs, Mercedes, the wheel turns so far in that it moves the boot.
Yeah.
And on a cheap boot, it will rip, and his gets ripped every month.
Because I know on some Audis the rear steers. It's not it's not full steering,
those
but
are the newer ones, newer and also like the very high prestigious.
Yeah, and these are the cars that you can't work on, and you have to take it to the dealer.
Degree or two for this shit. On track.
It makes a fucking difference. Like the older GTRs, they were the first ones to have it. GTRs, 300 3000 GTs, Mitsubishi had it. Yeah. The VR4s. A couple old JDM cars had it, and that was like a huge track thing because when you're turning, that 2 degrees makes
shit makes a difference, bro.
It makes a huge difference. Like the GTR when it has like 320 horsepower from the factory, like the older GTR, the Skyline, like the Fast and Furious one. But it will rip apart a 500 horsepower car on the track because it can handle so much better than it. Yeah.
It sticks to the fucking ground.
Have you had actually any experience with track days or no?
You know the track day story.
Well, no, I actually don't.
From the Poconos. I was partying with you till 5 a.m. Then I'm like, oh, Kevin, me and your brother have to go to Pocono Raceway to race my BMW.
I generally don't remember this.
Come on, man. We're in the garage with you.
I saw videos of it.
Nick had a party. Yo, so let me tell you this. Fuck, this is the stupidest probably thing I ever did. Jesus Christ.
I'm scared to hear this one.
So I get this BMW. So one of my number one customers is the BMW guy, Vitaly.
Okay, yeah.
I just did a LS1 swap on his E36M. And we just pulled the motor out of the E30, and I'm making this motor into a wine rack actually. Because the third time this motor fucked up, and I took the motor. I'm like, listen, you're not getting this motor back because you're getting a new one now. It doesn't make sense. But I built 2.5 years ago, or close to 3 years ago, man. Time flies. But he brings me this. The first car ever he brings to me was this silver E46 ZHP. I don't know Beamers like that, but Mike's the Beamer guy.
Yes.
And Mike's like ZHP. I'm like it's an E46, well ZHP, bro. Alcantara, Bilstein shocks, like premium wheels, bumpers. I'm like, whoa. Wow. Extra 10 grand for that. Whoa. Yeah, you know? I hated Beamers. Working on Beamers, inverted Torxes, aluminum bolts. Bro, it's fucking.
It's all German.
It's all German.
Which are worse, Audis or BMWs?
They're both shit boxes.
No, that's true.
I hate it. Out of all three of them, Benz, Beamer, and Audi, Benz, yo, they don't die.
Yeah.
C300s, they don't fucking die. Older Benzes, they're actually made in Germany, like the early.
Oh, they're tanks, bro.
They're tanks, bro. They don't fucking die. The newer ones are fucking. They're nice. Yeah. But they're less prone to issues than the Beamers or fucking Audis and shit. I think they're better built.
Really?
I've
always heard of like the stereotypical like BMW's always at the shop.
BMW's always is. Audi is just fucking headaches.
Benzes are a lot at all.
Benzes you never really see like he works on like the fleet, like the big trucks and shit. I understand that, but like regular Benzes you don't really see them go anywhere. Honestly, I have a story about that one too, bro. I was running a Goodyear in Little Falls. That's before I had the shop. That's the last job, and we hired this tire guy, right? And we asked him, I'm like, you could do tires, right? I've been doing tires for a year at STS. Bro, the first tire job, he ripped a tire. And these were like expensive tires.
How? You could do it. You could do it.
Because they were low pro. They weren't low pro. They were TL Type S wheels, and he wanted the Eagle F1s. It's like a really expensive tire from Goodyear. And when he was putting them on, he ripped the bead putting it on. It happens. It happens. But after a year of doing tires, you should know that already. Like it's a simple fucking tire job. I mean, we have a SnapOn machine. This shit puts it on for you pretty much. You know? You just gotta fucking set the thing and hold the fucking tire in place a little bit up. And he ripped it. And I'm like, all right, first job kind of sucks. It rips. Shit happens. So we get another one. He rips the other one. And now these are $300 a piece tires, and they're on back order. We gotta wait 2 days to get these fucking tires in. We're telling the customer he's driving on the fucking spare for a week. And so now the second tire's fucked up. We didn't tell him the bead's ripped. We're telling him it's a defect in the tire. So we're like, why is this kid still working here? But finally, he worked his way up after the year doing oil changes. Everybody needs a little workup. So I'm like, listen, this one guy comes in. He's like a rich dude, and he has like I think it was like a S. like a S class. It was a big body one, and those things take like 9 quarts of oil.
Yeah,
Big fucking V8. And it's a simple, you know, filters on top, drain plugs on the bottom. Yeah. Simple oil change, nothing crazy. So I'm like, can you handle this? You know, I set up the lift for him. He drains the oil, whatever, puts the filter in. And we don't trust him to drive cars. He actually left 3 wheels loose on me. That's when we fired him. Yeah, on test drives. And the customer is fucking looking at this shit, wheel flying off the side of the road. Well, I'm in the car, pissed the fuck off. But I pull it out, and I'm like, listen, like we use synthetic oil for that car, and those synthetic, they come in the bottles, not the fucking tap. Yeah. I'm like, where's the 9 quarts? Yeah, I threw them out. I'm like, listen, like, and the car's running in the front of the shop. The guy's paying for his bill. It's running. There's no noise in the motor. There's also no oil in the motor, and there's no noise. And the car's running for like 4 or 5 minutes. And I'm like, you gotta tell me the truth right now before this guy gets in this fucking car. Like, did you pour oil in it? He's like, no. Dude, I run to that fucking car, I pull it back in, and the guy's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I want to check the air pressures really quick. This guy forgot. He goes, okay, no problem. You know, so I close the garage door so he doesn't fucking see it either. I pop the hood. There's no fucking oil in the car. I pour in 4 quarts. There's no oil in the car. I pour in 5 quarts. There's no. I'm looking at the guy. I'm looking at this kid John. I'm like, yo, are you fucking with me, right? If we blew this motor, like this motor's probably fucked as it is. The chain probably stretched already, you know. Yeah. But the motor made no noise for 5 minutes. I put in the oil. It left. Never came back too. So that's a good motor. Those Mercedes motors have a good tolerance. Yeah. You know, it's like LS motors. LS motors, you can twin turbo them, 800 horsepower stock, because the tolerance is so heavy. Audi motors, you're off by a little fucking micrometer. Boom, no oil pressure. Yeah. It's like Mitch's car.
Yeah. That's true.
Fuck that.
So going back to the worst car though.
Worst car? Oh, the Jaguar. You were still there for the Jaguar, the sunroof.
Oh, I think so. Maybe, I don't know.
It sat in my garage for almost a year. Yeah.
Actually, I don't remember this one.
Bro, the guy comes to me. He bought this car like new from Canada, bro. It was like a 98 XJ. Nice car. Nice car. But a 98, 97, 98. And this car is like a big, that's one of my favorite. If I ever like had $3-4 grand to throw around, I would buy that for shits and giggles. That's a fucking sick car. It's a nice big body, nice luxury car. It even has like little trays in the back seat, you know? Yeah. And fancy, yeah. I did like tires on. I did just like a little bit of maintenance on the car. It was in kilometers too. It had like low kilometers and shit. And it was like a Sunday car. And the sunroof leaks, right? But you can't change the seal on the sunroof. You have to change the whole sunroof. And it's not an easy job. And I did not want to do the fucking job. And then he came in for tires. I did like brakes, tires, and the battery. I did like little bullshit, like spark plugs and shit like that. And he goes, I have a sunroof. Can you put it in? And I'm like,
you don't want to.
I'm like, yeah, bring it by. You know, whenever I have. He goes, take your time. Whenever you have time. And I'm like, when people tell me that, don't tell me that. Car's gonna sit there for fucking half a year. I'm not gonna touch this fucking car.
I would be standing for months.
Yeah. When people say you have time, that means they want a good deal.
Yeah.
And I'll let it sit there until I never have time.
Yeah, just do it when you're bored.
Yeah, I'm never bored because I have 3 of my own cars which I can't even fucking do anything on. It sucks because mechanic has the shittiest car all the time. And I drive I drive a 2003 F-150 with 200,000 miles in my daily. And that car is a fucking tank too, because it's gonna fucking die. Yeah. But I'm like, all right, fuck it, you know, like 3 months goes by, and he goes, what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, no time, this and that. You gotta pull, bro, headliners off, like
everything,
bro, seats out because like the thing doesn't want to go through. Like, bro, it's a shit show. There's drains going in every corner, like it's a lot of fucking work, bro. And God forbid, you know, you're getting a used fucking sunroof. God forbid that one doesn't fucking work. Yeah. You're fucked, you know. So like 3 months passes by. I'm like, yeah, give me some more time. This and then another 3 months passes by, right? He goes, how's it going? I was like, yeah, give me some more time. This and that. Now he's getting pissed, you know. And I'm like, listen, if you need the car, take it out. No. You can do it, you know. I'm like, all right, give me some more time. So finally he goes, I have a wedding, like next week, Sunday. Can I get it back by Saturday? And I'm like, fuck it. Like, let me start it. Like, what's the worst that can happen, bro? Like, whatever. So I have
famous last words.
I think it was like late at night or something. And I started like 8 o'clock at night after like all the cars. And George was there, right? And I'm like, George, you want to hang out for a little bit, help me out? I was like, yeah, I got it, you know, whatever.
We'll take it apart.
Bro, we take this shit apart. And the new one he got, the used one, had a broken drain on it, right? And the drain is, you can't fix it like. If the drain's not there, it's gonna just pour the water, because the water goes in it a little bit. It doesn't seal perfectly.
Whatever leaks out.
It's gonna leak. Like even the brand new one leaks a little bit, but the drains throw it down. You know. So I take the old one out. I put the new one in. I see the thing's cracked on the corner. I'm like, fuck. Bro, it's like 2:00 in the morning. The guy wants it back the next day, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, what do I do? So this other kid comes. He works at Newark Airport for FedEx, so he works like crazy hours. He's like, oh, you're at the shop. Let me come through. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like, you're a mechanic too. He fixes planes. Come help me, you know? So we sawzall the old one off. We put the new one, we super glue the new one on to the old one, you know? Super glue is not sticking to it because the fucking surfaces are too, like, shiny. So we start, like, scuffing it, you know? And the glue has to dry. And I can't put the headliner back in and bolt it in until it's fully dry because I don't know if it's fucking dry or not. We were there till, like, 6 a.m. seeing if the sun, pouring water, seeing if it's just leaking or not, you know? And, like, 8 a.m. I finished his car. So I'm, like, from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., 12 hours in a sunroof job. Right?
After work.
Okay.
After work. So now I'm like 24 hours into this fucking, you know, this whole day of working, you know. But I do this shit all the time. I don't give a shit. So fucking
I just need to check something real quick. Keep talking.
So fucking I text the guy in the morning. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna leave the keys in the car, and you can pick it up whenever, and you can pay me, you know, next week, whatever. He goes, oh, we decided not to take the car anymore. I'm like, you motherfucker, bro. Like. That's whatever. Fuck it. Like pick it up whenever. So whatever. He picks it up later on. And everything's working. Everything good in that. And he has some other issues, but like, I guess he doesn't want to take it back to me now because it takes so long.
Yeah.
So I don't need it back. Like
yeah,
people,
but like the
people
thing
think
is, if someone tells you that, it's like you don't rush.
People
anything.
think they're doing you favors by throwing the car, like giving you the car. I'm like, you're not doing me a favor, bro. I'm doing you a favor by fixing your fucking car and not raping you. You know, I could be raping you, but I can't rape you.
Yeah. No, this shit sucks, bro.
Yeah.
That shit really sucks. No, I know that industry fucking sucks. I mean,
it's horrible shit, man.
Blows eyes, bro.
I got scammed into going to Lincoln Tech in 2012 after high school, thinking.
Which one did you go to?
The one in Union, with all the fucking ghetto people. Yeah. I was like one of like 3 white kids there, man. It's hilarious. So the reason why I say scammed is the one guy came to the high school. He goes, "Who wants to be a mechanic? We'll do a tour." So I'm like, all right, I got nothing else to fucking do. Let me go for a tour. So I went for a tour, and the guy took us on a Thursday, and a Thursday shop day. Everybody's working on their fucking cars, you know. But out of the whole week, you get like 1 shop day a week out of the month, you know. So everybody else is doing schoolwork. The guy goes, "It's all hands on. You're gonna be a shop all day long." And the one thing I'm pissed off, he said, without an automotive degree, you can't be a mechanic. Yeah. And I didn't know anything, so I believed it.
No, that's not true.
It's not true, dude.
That's honestly the worst scheme ever.
That's the stupidest thing in the world. And like I got no financial. My parents make like, you know, above minimum wage and shit. So I got no financial aid. I got no help from like student loans or anything like that. So I had to pay the full $30,000. And then the people I went to school with, I'm talking to them, and I'm like, what are you here for? They're older people. And like, oh, the government pays me to come to school.
They're all military or something.
They're all military, you know. They get free housing, free food, free money just to go to school. Yeah. And then I talk to people in the school and shit, and the school does 4 programs. Does EST, HVAC, nursing, and auto. Yeah. There's people who are going from auto to nursing, to HVAC,
they're doing everything.
To everything. Just to stay in school and get a house and get food and everything.
And get paid to go to school.
Yeah, and I'm like one of 3 white kids over there, actually paying for the school and everything. And then like every month you have it's a 14-month course, and every month you get a new class. You're with the same people. Yeah. And then I remember my first class, the guy goes, look to your left, look to your right. It was my intro teacher. He goes, I think 6 of you are gonna graduate. I'm like, 6 out of 40 people. It doesn't make fucking sense. Every month goes by, we lose 5 people, and at the end of the fucking year, there's like 10 of us left, you know. And out of the 10 people, 3 of us know how to work on cars, and the other 6 are book smart.
Yeah, no, that's the worst part.
And then the book smart people go get jobs at BMW, Mercedes because they have the program.
Yeah, because they know like, school, they're smart.
Yeah. And then they don't last more than a week because they can't even turn a wrench.
Yeah, that's the issue. They'll know everything, but they won't know how to do it.
They can't turn a wrench. They go. There's so many times you can pull your own car into Lincoln Tech and work on it, during shop days. Mm-hmm. And people, I want to do oil change, you know, and people can't even fucking do an oil change. They have 6 quarts of oil on the fucking ground, bro. Yeah. I'm like, come on, man. You want to be a mechanic? Yeah. And out of all the people I went to school with, I think me and this other kid are the only people left as mechanics. My other friends.
I knew how to do oil change by the time I was 11. Probably.
Well, you come from a different family.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's true.
Everybody should know. Everybody should know how to change a tire, do their own brake job.
At least tire. Yeah. I feel like that's minimal.
Yeah, oil change is kind of dirty, you know. Like, listen, if you make the money, spend the money. Go to a shop that you trust and get it done. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
At least if you know how to change a tire, at least that's good. And in Europe, you can't get a driver's license. You
have to pass a test. And I think in high schools they should teach this shit. You know.
My high school they did, thankfully, so that's where I learned a lot of shit from. But
you took a class for it.
Yeah.
But this is just to get your license. This is part of that.
I wish USA was just like that. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, that's in Europe. It's a law.
USA don't give a shit.
Same thing. If you have to pass the road test in a manual car before you could get it automatic.
Yeah, like in Germany.
But then again, Europe is mostly manual.
Yeah, but still, it's a law. Like, why don't they do that here? Half the people won't have license.
Because it's America, bro. They're all dumb fucks.
One thing that I am envious of, based off of Iceland, is Iceland part of Europe? No, right? I don't think so.
Iceland and Greenland are like.
They're separated, yeah.
I don't even know if they're...
But based on just like Iceland, and I'm guessing most of Europe is probably just like this too. What's it called?
Probably Europe.
The fact that...
You're chilling.
Fuck.
You're chilling. I don't even know where to put
Paper towels?
They rarely ever use stoplights.
Suck.
They rarely ever use stoplights there though. All they have are the...
What, yield signs?
No, not yield signs, but the roundabouts.
To every single one.
The roundabouts there. Roundabouts there, there's no traffic.
Because people know how to fucking drive over there.
Exactly.
Man.
That's why I generally fucking love it there at this point.
It's like Jersey. You go out of Jersey and you're like, why are people like driving correctly?
Yeah. No, it's true.
I don't know, but we're the ones that are yelling at them because why the fuck are they driving?
Yeah, because why are they going speed limit? We don't fucking speed limit.
Yeah. And at this point, we're still used to Jersey driving. We're doing fucking 15 over in the left lane, no matter what. Like that's the minimum.
You see a sign like 65 and 65-ish.
It's like
80. He's going 80. I'll go 80 with
it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now at that point, the cop pulls you over. I'm just like, I'm just following the traffic. What are you talking about?
Dude, the cops don't want to pull you over, man. That's the thing. Like, you got to be doing something really stupid to get pulled. I mean, you know how many times I got pulled over? Hundreds of times. I have 36 points on my insurance. Yeah. Hundreds of times, bro. Thank God I have 2 gold cards. I haven't got a ticket in 4 years because of gold cards. I got out of 3 DUIs. Yeah, that was crazy shit. And if you're nice to the cop, you know, they don't want to fuck you, you know. And if they pull you over and they see a rap sheet, they see like you have 20 tickets, because it's all in the system, they see it. They're going to fuck you. Yeah. You know, this guy didn't want to arrest him. If they see a guy with no points in their license, they're like, we're going to let him go, you know. They don't give a shit, bro.
Yeah, once you have a point on there, it's like, I could get this.
Yeah, because this guy, he has points already. Yeah. Like, fuck him, you know. That's why I kept getting tickets, because I had so many points when I was young. Every time I got pulled over, it's like, ticket. Another one.
Wait, do you guys know if, so let's just say you get pulled over, okay, you go to court for those tickets.
Yeah. And you could if you fight it.
You fight them, yes, but then you go to the... Not the jury, not the.
But I feel like
is the prosecutor?
You talk to the prosecutor before you go to court.
Yeah, exactly.
You try to make a deal.
You try to make a deal to the point where you don't get any points.
Okay. That's a plea bargain.
Do they still show up on your license whenever you pull over?
No,
not on your license, but they're still on your insurance, I believe.
No,
not the points,
No. So, say you get a DUI. That just recently happened to a guy I know. He got pulled over for this DUI 3-4 months ago. Mm-hmm. And he's still driving because he keeps pushing back his lawyer keeps pushing back his court date. Yeah. Once you go to court and the judge rules your whatever favor it is, that's when you get your license taken away. Yeah. That day, you can still drive until that court date. So you can push that court date back
5 years,
fucking years on years on years, you know. And it's if you get a first charge, you know, and I've been to so many courts. Well, I've been to like 100 court date like appearances because I tried fighting all these tickets myself. It's stupid, and I'm always the last fucking guy called out of the whole thing, you know. So I have to listen to all these other trials. And I'm listening to this guy. This guy has a DUI. This guy DUI. This guy's third DUI. This. And they're like, the lawyers are working their way up. Like, they get out of it. Yeah. Oh, you have to do 1,000 hours of community service, or you're getting a breathalyzer in your car for 6 months, and you get out of it, bro. Yeah. It's crazy. If you ever get a ticket, pay the money, get a lawyer. Get the fucking lawyer, because the lawyer's gonna, whatever you pay the lawyer, $1,000, whatever it is, he's gonna get you out of that. You don't want points. Yeah. Because once you get the point, it might be 3 years after that point's there, it goes away on the cop record. Mm-hmm. But your insurance sees this shit. So one time I called insurance, and they laughed at me. And I'm like, "What's so funny?" They go, You have 3 pages of fucking points. You know, and I was paying $600 a month for my Silverado just to drive it, insurance-wise. For Silverado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And he's already past the age gap.
Yeah, and I'm already past. Well, the age gap was still with the Silverado.
25, I believe.
26.
26.
26. That's when you can rent cars. 26.
No, well, depending on what it is, it's Hertz or what's the other one?
Turo's 26.
No, it's not. It's not Turo. It's Hertz.
Hertz Enterprise.
Or Enterprise. I'm pretty sure Hertz is 20, and Enterprise is 21.
It depends.
No,
It really
you can
But
get
then
it.
again, no, but then
They have different rates for younger drivers. You can still get it.
I believe it's after
gonna cost
25 though is where the rates actually just drop.
I think
like
it's
a
20,
month.
26, I think. 26, 26, that's when you get dropped out of your parents' insurance at 26, and that's when your insurance goes a little better. But then again, if you have a fucking record, it ain't gonna drop, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
It ain't gonna fucking drop. Thank God for the gold cards, bro. 2 of my friends are cops. Thank God for them. Brian and Steve. Thank fucking God. They got me out of fucking.
Can I get a gold card, please?
For 4 years, bro. And dude, I was in the Beamer. I ran a red, bro. And I ran a red so hard that I knew, like, I feel bad for running this red, you know. And the cops saw the whole thing, right? And I was getting parts down in total, right? I'm like, fuck. And the car had no paperwork. That's when I first got it. And the car had no paperwork. Even when I went to H2O 2 years ago, it still had no paperwork. And I was shitting bricks. Cause like I heard stories, like people were telling me, like, don't come because the cops are like fucking everybody. Yeah. This wasn't this year. This was last year. And my plan was to go to Cape May, DMV that day. So I got up 6 a.m., drove down to Cape May, which is the end of Jersey.
Yeah.
And I was gonna take the ferry into Ocean City. Cape May, not Cape May, whatever the fucking end is, has a DMV. So I was like, I'm gonna go to the DMV, get the paperwork done, hit the ferry, and I already paid $40 for the ferry online, you know, and get hit or H2O. Fucking, they're gonna pull me over. What are they gonna pull me over for, you know? Bro, I get a DMV. They go appointment only. That's when they started doing the appointment only shit. And I'm like, yo, like, you gotta be fucking with me because I got to the ferry in like 3 hours. They go to like a different county. So I drove like an hour back into Jersey. And I go to that one, they go appointment only. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. Like, I'm like, fuck the ferry. I'm gonna just drive down. I was thinking about going back up to home and taking my truck and going back. 'Cause I already paid for the condo and everything, you know. So I was like, fuck. And then Jake with STI.
Yeah.
He calls me, and I was kind of right next to the Jersey Turnpike border where PA and Delaware starts. Yeah. I was in that area, and I'm like sitting there in my car. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Jake calls me. He's like, where are you? I'm over here. He goes, I'm at the last rest stop of Turnpike. I'm like, yo, I'll be there in 30 minutes. Don't fucking leave. You're gonna drive behind me the whole way into H2O. He goes, facts. I don't give a shit. And he had his dad's Lexus with him, you know. So we drove all the way into H2O, and we took the towns up from H2O. We didn't go highway all the way down Ocean City. We went like through the neighboring towns. And there was even more cops over there, right? And we hit the strip, and we're at like the 140th, 150th. We had to go down to like the 60th. Bro, it's just cops. And I'm shitting bricks. Because if this car gets impounded, I can't get it out. Vitaly has to fucking get it out. Yeah, because it's not under my name. And the car had no registration. The registration expired. Insurance, I put it under insurance on it, but registration expired. It's fucked. They pull you over, you're fucked. Bro. You're fucked. Impound. You know, an impound over there, they're impounding cars for exhaust for fucking $1,200. Because your car had impound $200 for an exhaust.
Yeah.
And then that's why this year H2O was the last H2O.
Yeah. Was it actually?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they started doing it. I think
it was bad.
Baldwin, didn't it?
Dude, they have
like a little a thing.
They're trying to move it. The real H2O, the real show, H2O, was actually they moved it to Showboat in AC.
Oh, okay.
Years ago. And my first H2O was 2012. That's where I got the almost DUI and a half actually. And I was 20 years old. This was a month before my 21st birthday. I still had the Lexus. And I was just in Jerry's RS6 and Raj's Golf R. We took 2 cars down the first year. Heard about H2O, right? Saw videos. I'm like, dude, this is the way to go. And that's when they still had the show there, the Audi show and everything over there. And I'm like, yo, we gotta go one year. And Raj's dad had a timeshare, actually in Ocean City. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. Like, let's take the weekend trip, the boys trip. Fuck it, whatever. I took Constantine with me too.
Oh my god, I haven't heard of him in a long time.
Yeah, yes, he got married.
Really?
Yeah, he got married. I just cousin.
Shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, and they got a house together in Boonton Township. Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody's getting married, man. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it.
I still got a long time till then.
Don't do
worry
it.
about
Even don't even fucking do it, bro. So fucking we're driving down there, right? And it's Jerry's RS6. That's like fucking gray, dark gray with like limo tints with black
that.
wheels they have
was
on
in the
now.
green one?
The green's a wrap.
Yeah, I
It's
know,
actually
but
like
that's what I
gunmetal
meant.
gray underneath.
That's what I meant. Like he didn't have the wrap on yet.
No, wrap was way before that. Way after that. And then Raj had the newer Golf R back then, on bags and water cooled wheels with like a stage 3 plus everything. Like it was a nice fucking car, right? Brand new car too. And we drove down there, and Raj is with Constantine. No, I'm with Raj in the Golf R, and Constantine's with Jerry in the RS6. So we leave like Friday night. We drive all the way down there. We're flying, bro. Like Jerry's car is a supercar. I got pulled over doing 200 miles an hour in that car. That's where I got 12 points, by the way. That was the worst pullover in my fucking life. That's where I ruined my record. That's where I lost my license the first time. And
Well, I saw that coming.
Yeah, obviously.
bro, I ran in the Beamer to this day. Ever since I got the Beamer, I ran with Nick in the car from the cops going to Shelter Island to Eddie's house.
Really?
Yeah. Nick's like, cop. Oh no, I'm in the HOV lane like an asshole. I always drive HOV lane. I'm like, fuck, if I'm not seeing this fucking traffic, bro. And me and Nick were going to Hamptons to Eddie's house during COVID. Yeah, we're doing like $120, bro, in the HOV because it's empty.
Yeah.
HOV, you need like 4 people, 3 or 4 people in the fucking car. We're fucking booking
like
it, bro. And there's mad cars. There's traffic at the ass. And then it's this LIE too. And I know not to speed in the LIE because I always fucking do it. So in the middle of the barrier, the concrete barrier, it splits and there's a cop sitting in the middle. Oh. And I saw him. I flew past him like, fuck. And I'm looking, and I see him pull out. And I'm like, Nick, go on your phone, find the next exit right now. I throw over 4 lanes. I go on the shoulder. I fly in the shoulder. He goes half a mile as the exit. We hit the exit. We go to Dunkin' Donuts, park behind Dunkin' Donuts. I walk in Dunkin' Donuts, get some food and shit, come back, wait half an hour. I'm like, all right, let's get back on the fucking road. Well, I ran like 4 or 5 times in the BMW. Once you're on the highway, and that car is such a highway car, like it has the speed too. If you pass a cop going 120, 140,
You ain't catching it.
they ain't catching you, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
they're at a standstill.
they're at a standstill, and their cars are pretty quick, you know.
Yeah, but if they're at a standstill, there's
Yeah.
no way they're catching up.
Exactly.
So I was going to AC. It was like a party in AC a long time ago, and I had like 2 other people in the car. We had a cracked bottle of vodka. We had a 30 cracked. You know, we're all fucked up. And I knew. That's when Jerry gave me the car, and Jerry's like, he goes, "Can you test drive the car? I want to get it out of the garage after the winter time." And I'm like, "Say no more, bro. I got you. Like, give me the keys." He goes, "You know this car has no paperwork." I'm like, "I'm very well aware of that. You know, like I always been." And every time I drove that car, I got fucked. And the last time I drove it, it was impounded. Yeah. And
Damn, you have bad history with that car.
bro, every single first time I drove it, Nick was in the car. We got pulled over in Totowa, going 25 miles an hour. I'm like, why is this motherfucker pulling me over? Right? I understand like the car has like limo tints on it, like license plate fucking tint on it, whatever. I get pulled over in Totowa, actually right next to my shop, because I was going back to Jerry's house to drop the car off, and Nick was in the car with me. And the cop's like, "Oh, you're not Jerry." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not Jerry. What's up?" Like, he goes, "Why are you driving Jerry's car?" And I'm like, "Well, I just fixed it. I'm giving it back to him." You know. He goes, "Show me the paperwork." And that's when the car was new, still like newer, so it had paperwork on it. So I'm like, I'm looking for the paperwork. I can't find it. I'm like, fuck. You know. I don't know what he has in the trunk. Like, I don't know what he has in the
You
fucking
don't
car.
open it, yeah.
I don't know anything, you know. And Nick's in the car, so he goes, "Step out of the vehicle." I'm like, fuck. So one cop's talking to Nick, and one cop's talking to me, and another cop is looking through the car. And he's talking to me, and I'm like, well, like, why are you driving Jerry's car? And I'm like, why do you know Jerry like that? You know, like, were you looking for Jerry? And Jerry was a bad kid, you know. So he goes, "All right, listen, like, since it's not your car, this and that, and we're gonna let you go, but you know, tell Jerry to take care of his like car, this and that." And he's about to let me go, and one of the cop goes, "I found it," right? And he's looking through the car, he's looking under the seat. He goes, "I found it," and I turn around, and the cop's like, "Don't move," you know. And I'm like, "What the fuck did he find?" He goes, "I found the paperwork, registration, and insurance under the seat." And now the guy goes, "You're good to go." You know, that was the first time I drove it. No, first time I drove it was before that, but that was the first pullover in the car.
Yeah.
And then the second time I drove it was to AC, and you know, the 2 guys were in. I'm not gonna say names, but 2 guys were in the car. They go, "Is this the RS6 that can go 200 miles an hour?" And that's a 200 mile an hour car all day long. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, open it up. And I'm like, once we get down a little farther parkway, there's like, the 4 or 5 lanes, I'll open it up, And that car had a brake issue. Because the brakes cost $2,000 to replace. My price $2,000. Because the fucking caliper's like this.
Yeah.
And he couldn't afford the brakes, so I didn't want to slam on the brakes because the whole car was just... The rotors were so fucked, it would just throw the fucking car at that speed. So I get down, I see no more cars. And I'm like, fuck it, it's a 5-speed twin turbo V8, so it spools up fucking instantly. It's automatic. Drop a gear, I fucking floor, bro, 200. Right? They go, damn, that's fucking fast. And we're drinking in the car, bro. We're fucked up. And we're actually an hour late to the dinner party at Harrah's. Yeah. And everybody's, Yevhen, where are you? I'm like, I'm on my fucking way, but relax. We're gonna be a little late. Don't wait up. Just fucking go. And I had $2,000 in my pocket to gamble. So we're flying, and I let off the gas, and I'm going like 180, 170, and I see like a couple of cars in the fast lane. I'm like, nothing to it. I fly, and I can't see anything at night. I'm blind as fuck. Nothing, whatever. One of the guys goes, that was a state trooper. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's 3 cars. He goes, there's a car, state trooper in the car. And I was like, oh, it's not, bro. There's no lights in the fucking rearview mirror. He goes, bro, I know what I saw. It was a fucking like Tahoe. That's like state trooper. Dude, like a minute later, I see the lights. And I'm like, 2 miles away from the exit. I don't know the area, so I can't really run. So I'm like, fuck it, like, let me eat it. Like, fuck it, like, this car's gonna get impounded. That's when I had no paperwork on it. Like, fuck, this car's gonna get fucked, bro. So before I'm pulling over, I roll all the windows down, because that's tints on it. And I'm like, yo, take your clothes, hide the 30 of Bud Light, take the vodka bottle, shove it under the fucking passenger seat, bro. Like, both you guys, don't say a fucking word, let me talk. Don't say a fucking word, because every story has to make sense now. Don't talk. Because this is not my first time getting pulled over. I know how to fucking do it.
I know how that works.
So, I pull over, right? And then, cop comes behind me like a minute later, and he's sitting there for 10 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, is he calling for backup or something, bro? Like, what the fuck's going on? For 10 minutes in the car, and I'm like fucking like losing my mind. I'm like, I'm getting arrested, bro, 100%. He comes to their car, he goes, tell me the honest truth, how fast are you going over there? And they can't, if you don't admit to it,
they won't know.
If they don't have a laser, they don't have a printout, they can't do anything. They can give you reckless, they can give you a lot of tickets, but they can't give you a speeding ticket. They can fuck you still. So I'm like, officer, I think I was going about 100. He goes, I was going 85, and I didn't even see you fly past me because your car's like so like gray. He's like, I was gonna pull the other car over for speeding, but you flew past me. And I'm like, officer, I was probably doing about 100. He goes, tell me the honest truth. We can do this easily, And I'm like 100 miles an hour. He goes, all right, show me the paperwork, right? And I'm looking through all this expired paperwork. I have a stack of expired shit, and I'm like, officer, this isn't my vehicle. And he goes, just give me the paperwork, right? So I give him like the whole it's all expired
whole
shit.
Stack.
It's a whole stack of expired shit, bro. So I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, we are so fucked. Like, he's gonna smell the alcohol. He's gonna search the fucking car. Like, we're fucked. And he's in the car for 20 minutes, right? And I'm like, yo, why is he there for 20 fucking minutes? Like, something's wrong. Like, this is not right. He's not calling for backup. Like, what the hell's going on? He comes back. He goes, you got one more shot. Tell me the honest truth, and we're gonna take this the easy way. And I'm like 100 miles an hour, like I said. Yeah. He goes, tell me the truth, or my shift ends in 15 minutes. Tell me the truth, and I'm not going to impound your car, right? And I'm like 100 miles an hour. He goes, all right, I'm going to give you a ticket for the 100 miles an hour. I don't want to see you in court. And I was like, officer, this is 2 hours away from my house. You're not going to see me in court. I'm not going to come down for court. So he comes back. He gives my passenger the printouts. Stack.
1-inch stack.
He goes, I'm letting you off easy. I'm not impounding the vehicle. All your paperwork's expired. I'm not gonna impound it because like my shift's over, this and that. I'm not gonna wait here another 2 hours for a tow truck, this and that. He goes, I don't want to see you in court. Have a good day in AC. Don't be speeding because I'm calling you in and then towards the end. I'm like, officer, thank you so much, whatever. Passenger goes, you want to see the tickets? I'm like, I don't want to see the tickets until I park at Harrah's and I get out of the fucking car. Like, this has ruined my fucking night. Like, I'm fucked. I know for a fact I'm fucked. I park. He gives me a stack. I drop it. And I'm holding it like this, and it's still on the fucking ground. He gave me reckless. Reckless is the worst thing you can fucking get, honestly.
I got that.
He gave me registration ticket, insurance ticket, inspection ticket, license plate, tints. He gave me the whole nine. The whole nine. I think the fines alone, if I were just to pay the tickets and take the points, the fines alone are like $700.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's with the fucking 12 or 11 points I got.
Okay, so
not fighting it. Yeah. Right. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, oh, I have $2,000 in my pocket. I'm gonna go gamble, make $2,000, pay for the lawyer, You know, I don't have to show up, pay for the lawyer $2,000. Fucking, you know, get out of some of it. You know, I go to gamble, I lose $2,000 overnight. You know, I'm like fuck. So I go back home. I'm like fuck. What do I do? I call my lawyer. He goes, don't worry about it. We're gonna take care of this. We're gonna take care of it. I know a guy down in that county. We're gonna take care of it. I'm like, all right, whatever. That's when I used to work for an HVAC company. That next to your house. Yeah.
What?
This guy let me run a multi-million-dollar HVAC company without even knowing what HVAC is. All I had to do was drive the van. That's a different story. Yo, that was the craziest. We were at strip clubs more often than we were at work. Because I was a one-man team. I was the only employee he had, and he was trying to hide his money in this HVAC business. It was the biggest shit show in the fucking world, bro. It was a crazy year of my life.
That sounds great, though.
So he gave me this job. He goes hire employees. Go on Craigslist. This is before marketplace days. He goes go on Craigslist. Go put a post for like want to find laborers. Yeah. So he gave me a job for 4 months. For 4 months I was living in Cherry Hill next to Trenton. For 4 months he let me live in Trenton. He gave me a $10,000 credit card. He goes here, get a hotel, go buy whatever food you want, go shopping, run this job. Hire 10 people to do the labor for you. I had to build a 10,000 square foot walk-in freezer, 10,000 square feet of panels.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot, bro. Ceiling and fucking everything. Well, he gave me a crane, he gave me a forklift, he gave me everything. You know.
How to go do it.
So I was in the office in Clifton, in his office. I was on a computer. I need laborers in Cherry Hill. Next morning I come into the office, bro. I have like 100 emails. I'm like, what the fuck? He goes, listen, sit there and call these people back. Like, I need 10 good people that want to work. And I'm like, all right. I already sat there all day. I took the post down. I sat there. I got 10 people who wanted to work. I told them it's going to be like a 4-month job. You guys have to live in the area and come to work like from 8 to 5 o'clock. You know? And I lived there. And on the weekends, I would sometimes drive back home. And out of those 10 people, I think I had like 4 left at the end of the 4 months because nobody wanted to fucking work, bro. It was a horrible job. And he gave me the checkbook. I was writing people checks and shit, not knowing what the fuck I was doing. It was a shit show. But my boss got paid out $800,000 out of this whole job that he wasn't even in, and I was doing it for him. Yeah. So it's free money for him.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's when I left the company because I couldn't do this no more.
A finger.
So I was driving to Cherry. I was driving down one day, and I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking like 1 month before the court date or something, right? I don't know why I was thinking that. So I'm driving down, and I had the tickets in my cup holder, and I'm on Turnpike. So I'm like, let me see the court date. Court date was 2 days before that day.
Oh, fuck.
So it's past the court date. So I pull over on the middle of the fucking Turnpike. I call my lawyer. I'm like, yo, you know this thing was 2 days before. He goes, oh, yeah, I postponed it. You know, it's going to get taken care of, this and that. I was like, all right, cool. I go to pull off from the shoulder. I get pulled over for not using a turn signal. Yeah, what shitty luck. Yeah. Cop pulls me over. He goes, he looks at the cup holder. He goes, why so many tickets? I was like, officer, you have to believe me when I tell you the story. He goes, these tickets were supposed to be paid 2 days ago, but my lawyer prolonged it. He goes, all right, let me see your license. Let me call it in and see if it's true, you know. So he calls it in. He goes, it hasn't processed in the system yet, but I believe you. He goes, I'm not even going to give you another fucking ticket because you have to deal with this shit. I feel bad for you, you know. Use your turn signal. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck, you know. And then, long story short, my lawyer didn't do shit for me. I took the 12 points, I lost my license. And you lose your license 30 days for the first time. I still drove. You know, it'd be kind of shitty because if you get caught in that, you're fucked.
You're fucked. Mm-hmm.
You're fucked. And then I did the defensive driving. I got 2 points dropped. And then every year, every 365 days you don't go without a ticket, you get 2 points dropped. And my dumbass, 364 days, I get a ticket. So I will never get anything dropped. So the next ticket I got for like some bullshit, I got my license taken away again. 60 days now. You know, but I still drove. Yeah. Then I'm like, yo, I need to change my lifestyle. I can't keep getting fucking tickets, bro. This is fucking insane. I'm killing myself. I'm paying a shit ton for insurance.
Just for that shit.
This and that. I'm like, I gotta change something, you know. So then I got out of the car game. Stopped doing stupid shit. And you know, and thank God, you know, I got the first gold card a long time ago, and I got the second gold card, and now I get pulled over, bro. I'm telling you, I got pulled over in the BMW for the red light, and the car had back then it had no fucking paperwork. Guy goes, "It's a red light." And I was like, "Officer, it was yellow." He goes, "No, it was red." And I'm like, "Gold card." He goes, All right.
Good.
I goes, yeah.
Same thing,
Where
me
you
on the-
going? Parts store? Yeah, go to the parts store.
Yeah, me on the bike, same thing.
Yeah.
No place hidden. He's like, oh, I can't see your plates. I'm like, I go, I flip them up, because I have them on the hinge, I flip them up. He's like, oh, you do have plates. I'm like, yeah, here's the paperwork, here's a gold card, here's my license.
Yep.
He looks at it, he's like, you're good to go.
You have to show him the gold card off the rip,
Yeah.
right in the beginning. And then, I got pulled over in the right-hand drive, going from the steakhouse in Sparta. We're at the steakhouse in Sparta, me and my business partner. This was a couple weeks ago. And I took the right-hand drive out. I'm like, fuck it. Like, let me
have some fun.
Why not have some fun? Right-hand drive, fucking nice little drive on a Sunday. You get some steak or some wine, whatever. We go eat. I'm on the way back home. It's like 10 o'clock at night. It starts raining, and that car has no wiper blades, bro. Like, they're so dry rotted for like 20 years old. Dude, it doesn't do shit. I'm like, fuck, I didn't supposed to rain today. Like, fuck, you know? So I'm on 15, and I'm like, wait, I gotta go slow here because I know somebody who got pulled over here one time with me, and this is like a 25-mile-an-hour zone because the cops always wait here because it goes from 45 to 25 back to 45.
Yeah.
So I know the area, and I'm like, I'm gonna slow down. So I go behind this car in like in the right lane. I'm going like 25, and I'm like, this is too slow. I'm like, fuck this. I downshift, bro. Cop right there. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I knew it. Like, why would I do that? Like, so stupid, right? So I pull over. He lights me up right away. I pull over. And I was doing 80 kilometers. I don't know what that is in fucking miles an hour.
80.
Yeah. So every time I drive that car, I look at the speedometer and I see like the line. And I'm like, this is fast enough, you know, whatever.
It's a guessing game.
It's a guessing game with kilometers. I don't know shit.
49.7 miles per hour.
So it's 25. So it was right. It was right. So he lights me up. I pull over to the shoulder. You know how they touch your car before they come?
Yeah.
And I'm in the fucking passenger seat, right? I lower my windows down. He goes to look in the car and he jumps.
Because he sees you.
He jumps. He sees me and he grabs his gun. He goes, "Why are you on the other side of the steering wheel?" I'm like, "This car is like an import car, blah blah blah." He goes, "This car's legal?" I'm like, "It has the paper. This car actually has paperwork.
Oh wow. Okay. What's the difference?
Registered and insured." So I'm like, "It's in the glove box, officer." He goes, it's a pretty cool fucking car. He's like, I clocked you doing 30 over.
30?
30 over. He said 30 over. Yeah.
Might have been the wheels.
Wait, what was it? 40?
It's 49.7. And in 25, that's double.
So it's 25. So I might have been going a little more than fucking 80. Who knows? But he said 30 over. 30 over is it's bad. That's a bad fucking ticket, you know? So he goes, let me see the paperwork. I go on the paperwork, and I'm like, officer, this is my gold cards. You know, he looks at the gold cards. He goes, who are these? Because they always ask you, who are they?
Yeah.
So my one friend from Verona, this is my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
If they ask.
Yeah.
And they don't ask. They see Brian McMahon and they see Yevhen Hunko. That's close enough.
Yeah.
Irish guy and like a Russian dude. That's close enough, right? Yeah. And my other friend Steve, he's a good customer of mine, good friend of mine from Totowa. He's a county sheriff. So I say that's like my best friend, county sheriff. So they don't ask no questions. Yeah. They go, well, I caught you doing 30 over, slow down. But this car's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
He goes, have a good day. You know.
No, but those are like nice stops though. Even though it's not like.
You gotta be nice to the cop.
Yeah.
You gotta be very respectful. You can't be arguing about it. Always have your keys in the dashboard, hands on the wheel. Tell him my license is in my pocket, or my things are in my glove box. Be respectful.
So he's aware of what's going on.
And he feels more comfortable. He goes, oh, this guy doesn't want to get fucked. You know, let him go. Fuck him. He runs my license. It's clean. You're not gonna do anything.
What are you supposed to do then if your car's push to start though?
Turn it off, and fucking put the key on the dashboard so you can see it. Yeah.
Doesn't really matter at that point though.
Why hit the brakes?
It doesn't matter. It's actually easier to start because then you hit the brakes and you fucking start the car and you're out. Yeah. It's like going.
But no, for push to start though, either way, you just put your foot on the brake no matter what, even where as long as the keys are inside the car.
Yeah, but you always show it them. You gotta make their lives easier to make your lives easier. Yeah. They don't want to give you that ticket, bro. Honestly,
they usually never do.
They never do it. You gotta be doing something. Like something really bad, bro. Like having like a pound of weed in your fucking lap and like having empty bottles in your car. Then they have to do something. Like now that's stupid for you if you're driving like that.
Okay, but tell me how, like, for me, the first time ever I got pulled over, okay, what was it?
Yeah, you had people in the car with the underage license. I remember that day.
Yeah.
I remember that day. I remember that day.
I've known Kevin when he was this big.
I wasn't even speeding to the...
Doesn't matter if you're speeding. You see fucking 10 people in the car at 5 a.m.
No, it wasn't even 5 a.m. It was like 11 o'clock.
That's still late.
11? Okay.
That's still late.
10, 11 o'clock, okay, during the summertime. Actually, no. It's 9, 10, 11 o'clock, somewhere around that time. I really don't remember. But I had 4 people in the car altogether, including myself. Okay.
Were you intoxicated?
No, it was not.
Was people in the car intoxicated?
No.
When the windows fogged up?
No.
Probably.
Were you in the Audi?
Yes.
There you go. There's your issue.
That's the fucking problem. Okay.
You got a black Audi, man.
So I still don't even have fucking tints on my car, which makes no fucking sense. I was following the car in front of me.
Get the tints. Fuck them. They're not gonna pull you over tints. They don't pull you over tints no more.
Exactly.
That's back in the day.
I do want to get tints. I just don't feel like
So
fucking-
$120.
Yeah, I really don't feel like spending the money. I mean, yeah, I would. Like, I generally want to.
Yeah, you fucking keep driving drunk and hitting your fucking car, bro.
I
Stupid.
never have fucking hit my car while fucking driving
Your two
drunk.
doors
I
are
do
fucked.
that.
Your
I do
bumper's fucked. You have no fog lights left. That's not
That's
your.
because
That's,
I'm
and
fucking a piece of
that's
car. We're
not.
driving
That's
home
not your
from
first
work.
accident. This is like the third time he's been in the fucking body
Yeah,
shop.
every single time of them has never been my.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get my son a nice Audi as his first car. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, Laura, great fucking idea. Laura, we should have got the Lexus we talked about, Laura.
What Lexus?
Me and your mom were talking about a Lexus for you before the Audi, and your mom was like, "We found the Audi, boom, surprise!" And I come to your house and it's there, and I'm like, "You fucking idiot."
Because we were looking at SUVs though, so this is how it exactly worked.
Well,
out.
you did better than Nick and Mitch. I mean, fuck.
That's true. I haven't fucking modified it like engine wise or like.
You can't really do much to those things. It's
You can tune
automatic.
it with,
It's just trannies are gonna fucking go on those things.
But what's it called? So how it first worked out was the fact that obviously I couldn't get a fucking European car no matter what.
Should have got the STI, man. Should have got the STI.
I would fucking love to.
Should have got a real STI.
Because what? I don't have a wig list. The wig list is in the garage.
No, you have an Americanist.
I know.
See, at first I couldn't get a fucking European car. Okay. Then I was like, okay, what if I get a SUV? That's what I told my parents. She was like, okay, yeah, fine, whatever.
Truck's the best.
Whatever. So then they're like, okay, yeah, I'm looking for SUVs. I'm like, okay, the only SUV that I like is the Q5, which is Audi, European.
Junk, even bigger junk than
Okay.
your car.
So then they're like, okay, whatever. So started looking for those. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my mom's sending me links to Q5s, sending me Q5s. Then randomly just sends me an A4, Audi A4. At that point, I saw that. I was just like, perfect. Okay, here we go. Started looking at Audis all of a sudden.
You're supposed to get a 99 Honda Civic, bro.
Hell
As your first
no.
car.
Beat it. No, that's
And
not
beat
bad.
it
That's the
and
best.
still make money when you sell it
Yeah,
after 5 years.
No, that's the best. Then
Yeah.
you learn how to drive.
You learn how to
honestly.
fucking. You can smack a curb. You can hit a car.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? A fender's $20.
Yeah.
That's true.
Not your 2 doors are fucking $2,000. You know.
Yeah.
Let me get. I have 4.5. For
Yeah,
the
you
fucking
take
accident.
that money and you fucking fix it with a pull lock and under
That's
the
what I-
table or
that's
something.
what I genuinely want to
If you
fucking
need
do.
a body shop, I got a body shop guy. So
Okay,
you know,
perfect. So
he's
I'll
a
hit
Ukrainian
you.
guy. He's insurance fraud. Yeah. If you need a car totaled out, he'll give you a car totaled out. We totaled out 6 G-Wags with this guy.
What the fuck?
Yeah, car caught on fire. Yeah. Roll the miles back too on that time too.
Great.
Got paid out even more.
What the hell?
Yeah, also you gotta be worried about like rolling back miles. You don't hear about it, but everybody does it, man.
Yeah,
If the car has 100,000, it has 100,000 on it, bro. It's been rolled back. Rolling back miles, it costs $400.
Yeah, it's not.
The newer cars are kind of harder because they have the whole like OnStar system.
Yeah, you
and
gotta turn that
they
off before.
they report it. That's why you never activate it. And then all these newer cars too, like Audis, BMWs,
They activate from
Mercedes.
factory.
They activate factory
You
and
gotta disable it.
yo, the keys have mileage because every module, every computer
Inside
in
the
that car,
computer, remember.
headlights have miles on
Yeah.
them, bro. Everything has miles
Yeah,
on
no.
it. So when they put this computer in to change the miles, they're not just changing the miles from the odometer. They're changing the miles on every fucking
Yeah,
module.
no, he's right though because like even the new Sprinter vans and Benzes, they have a QR code on the headlight.
Yep.
And if you get it
No,
from
my headlights have QR codes too.
so if you get it from a different truck, you'll plug it in. It won't
You
work.
have to code it.
It won't work.
You have to get Vagcom and code it.
Yeah, it
Really?
won't work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like speedometers,
Yeah.
any electrical part that has a QR code, it needs to be programmed into
Yeah.
the car.
And that all tracks mileage.
Yeah, it all tracks it has a mileage counter on it.
Yeah.
They're not stupid. These newer cars are harder to do. You go back. I was working with a guy, my first job when I was 15, washing dishes. A guy had a 2005 Honda Accord, right? He goes, I lease my cars. And I look at the mileage one day. He goes, pull the car on for me. I look at the mileage. It has like 175,000. I'm like, how did you do 175,000 in 3 years? He goes, oh, I drive a lot to Maine every weekend. Right? And I'm like, yo, this is a lease. Are you gonna buy it out? He goes, no. I just buy speedometers from the junkyard and put them in.
Yeah.
And people don't know. They don't know. They
Yeah,
don't
but back in the day, you were able to do that though.
back in the day, just speedometer.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
fucking throw it in.
exactly,
$200 speedometer from a junkyard and you throw it in and it's done. And then and the people who I dealt with people the company hires a third-party person to go to your house after a lease and do an evaluation of your car. Any dings, dents, tires, brakes, curb rash, whatever, or wheels. And he evaluates it. So these people, they are the fucking dumbest motherfuckers in the world, bro. They look at the car, you have a dent. And I'm like, this dent. They go, it's smaller than a quarter. We'll let it pass. Oh, but your rim's a little scratched.
Yeah, it's more.
So they'll nitpick your car. They're so stupid. They're not gonna know your car has 200,000 miles on it. You know.
Yeah.
The wear and tear has 200,000, but they'd be like, "Oh, your brake pads are low. Change some brake pads on it. We'll take it back."
Yeah.
Yeah. Idiots. The dealership doesn't go through your car. There's a third party person comes to your house and does evaluation.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
For leases, yeah. And they'll even take your car from your house. Take it in.
Yeah. You don't even have to drop it off.
You don't have to go to the dealer anymore. Yeah.
Okay.
There's people who, if you have a car issue, there's people who come to your house and take your car to go back to the BMW does that.
Yeah.
You have an issue with your car oil change, they'll come to your house and take the car and bring it back to you for free.
Yeah, they'll even drop you off.
They'll drop you off, they'll give you a loaner, they'll pick you up,
Yeah.
drop you off. Yeah, just for a fucking oil change.
What the fuck? Shit.
You paying the money, bro.
You're paying that $300 oil change for that.
Yeah, that's true.
You're getting reamed out the ass
Yeah,
for
but
oil
you're getting
change.
your money's worth if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Wait, this is a question for myself, I would say.
Oh, you're asking yourself questions. Okay.
No.
I think you need some more drink, bro.
No, like it's a question like for me, like that, like I want answered. What would you say about leasing an RS3?
I don't know about leases.
I mean, I have a hate-love relationship with leases. My Lexus, remember that?
Yeah, yes.
I bought a Lexus when I was 20 years old, bro. Like a dumbass, thinking I was
That's when you
making...
got the DUI.
No, that's when I got 6 car crashes in 6 months.
What?
Yeah, got into a huge bar fight in Jersey City with that one. I actually got a Mexican deported because of that car. Yeah.
Damn.
So I was 20 years old. I was 20 years old, man. I was hanging out with people with like AMGs, M's, and way above my pay grade people. Way older people than me, bro. Like cool people to hang out with, but like bad, like
Bad financially.
financially, fucking staying up all night, doing drugs.
I mean,
doing
they were probably
fucking-
financially stable.
They were financially stable because they'll spend like $2,000-$3,000 in bottle service that night, but
That's
they'll make
nothing.
back $5,000 on the roof job.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So they didn't give a fuck. And I asked them, I was like, "Why are you guys hanging out with me? Like, I can't. Like, I feel bad not throwing money. Like, but like, I have no money. I don't have that kind of money to throw." They go, "Did we ask you for $1?" And I'm like, "No, but I feel bad." They go, "Listen, like, every time I needed an oil change, you did it for me. Every time I had a car issue, you did it for me. You know, but I'm not a scumbag. I want to give something back to them, but they never asked anything back from me."
Yeah.
So I was hanging out with these people, and all my friends had like Mercedes, Beamers, and shit. And I was driving a 2002 Subaru Impreza wagon. Oh, I had an E30 back then, and I had 3 other parted out Subarus I was partying out. My dad was pissed. And I go sell everything and get yourself something nice, you know. And I'm like, he's making sense, you know. So I sold everything.
Mhm.
And I was gonna get a Mercedes C300, and I had a really good back then. I do 10 out of 10 credit. Like I had credit cards coming in for like $5,000-$10,000. That's how I ruined my credit. So I went to the Mercedes dealership, and I'm like, I want a C300, the brand new one. The guy laughed in my face, and I'm like, run a credit check. I want to lease it, this and that. Guy goes, "Oh, we don't have time. Set an appointment up." I goes, "Go fuck yourself." You know, like fuck you. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And then my brother's like, I have one of my friends. He's a manager of a Lexus dealership on 46.
Mhm.
And I'm like, the new Lexus came out. That's when the RCF came out, rear wheel drive RCF.
Okay.
And that's what I wanted, but it was only rear wheel drive. And I'm like, is there an all wheel drive? And those scumbags like, they're never gonna come out with the all wheel drive RCF. Well, 3 months later they did. Scumbags. So they have they go, why not get the IS300 F Sport? And I looked at it, I'm like, this is a beautiful fucking car. I'm like, holy shit, that car was nice. That car inside, it's like you're sitting in a fucking spaceship, bro. Like,
Bro,
What year was this?
it was 2014. That's the first year it came out. 14 IS300F.
Okay. Well, I actually want to see what it looks like. That's
Yeah, and I saw another one right next to it. They only had 2 F Sports. They had a 300F and they had a 350F with the red interior. And I'm like, I want the red interior 350. So I test drove both, and there wasn't a horsepower difference between both of them.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
that
then-
looks amazing. Yeah.
I had the gunmetal one.
Yeah,
the gunmetal
that
one.
shit's sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The interiors, dude, the controls
Gunmetal.
on it, the screen, the touch and everything was beautiful in that car, man.
That actually looks fucking
Yeah.
sick.
No,
I
they're
can't
nice
lie.
cars.
Even to like this today's
Yeah.
standard, it's still pretty sick.
It's still a new car though.
It technically
14,
still
that's
is.
still
It's still
decent,
the
bro.
same body style as
Yeah.
today, I think. Yeah. So that car MSRP was like a $55,000 car, I think, MSRP. And I test drove both of them. I had my brother in the back, and I had the salesman in the front. And that car came with Bridgestones, Potenzas, and they're the worst fucking tire in the fucking low pros, like fucking this.
Yeah.
Horrible tires, bro. They don't catch traction for shit. Expensive as fuck for no reason. So we're doing a lap around 46, and I'm taking those U-turns, and I'm just sliding this fucking car around. And I'm like, why are the tires so shit? Guy goes, no, please don't do that. Please don't do that on test drive. And I'm like, your tires are kicking out themselves. Like, I'm not doing anything. This and that. So I test drove both of them. There was no
difference.
There's no power difference in any of them. Just one had red over the interior. One was a 350. One was like an extra $8,000. And then the 300F was 5500, had the black interior with gunmetal rims and gunmetal car. And it was literally, I got out of work at 2 o'clock on a Saturday. I went to the dealership, and it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm like, fuck it. Like, let me sign. Like, fuck it, what's the worst that can happen? It was like a $2,500 down, $680 a month lease. And I got it, and the first thing I did, I actually went to Raj's house. First thing I did, went to Raj's house, right? It was a great car. Everybody's like, congratulations, first car, this and that. And I went to Nick's house. I let the marriage drive. I let everybody drive the car. I didn't give a shit. Like, you want to drive it? Go drive it. It's a fucking lease. What's the worst that can happen? And my brother made me buy wheel and tire warranty for $14 a month, right? Covering any rim, any fucking scratches, any potholes, whatever, tires, whatever. That was also a fucking scam. That whole dealership's a scam. That whole dealership's fucking assholes.
All dealerships.
No, that one's a piece of shit, apparently, what they did to me. So the first month I had it, I was working at Headmasters. Yeah, right across from you.
Right across the street.
So I pull up in the car, and the one guy that was working there, he goes, "Don't tell me you got this." I'm like, "Yeah." He was trying to sell me some salvage, flooded BMW and shit. And I'm like, "I don't want your BMW. I want a new car." He's like, "You're fucking stupid. You're stupid for buying this." I'm like, "Listen, it's my money. Like, fuck it. Let me live a little bit, right?" So one day I'm going to work. I'm in Little Falls, hopping on 46. Some bitch rear ends my bumper. Right, hits me in the bumper. I'm like, "Fuck, bro." So she goes, "I'll pay you cash." And I'm like, "You sure you can afford this?" It cracked my bumper. "You sure you can afford this bumper?" He goes, "Oh, how much can it be?" Right? I do a quote online. It's like it's the bumper with paint and everything, $1,500. She goes, "Oh, I can't afford that. I'm going through insurance, you know." So we go through insurance. Insurance gives me like $1,200 for it. I get it resprayed, get it fixed, resprayed for like $500, bro. Big deal. Yeah. And then my brother had his first kid. That's how long ago it was. This was like 7 years ago. Yeah. 7 years ago. So I was at Ivan's house that day. Ivan had a Mercedes C300, the newer one. And I parked the car in the street, and the street was getting repaved, right? So I parked the car in the street, right under like a light. So my brother calls me. He goes, my kid's born, going to the hospital. So Ivan go to Ivan's Mercedes. We drive to the hospital. We're there for a couple hours. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Go back to his house in Fairlawn. I'm like, "All right, Ivan, like, peace. You know, I'm going home." And that car had like, if you had the key on you, you open the door, touch the door, the door opens. You know? So I go to open the door, and it slams back at me. I'm like, what the fuck? So I go open the door again, it's not opening. The whole car got sideswiped. Yeah, somebody hit the car from headlight to taillight, smashed it in, and just kept going, right?
Wow.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So I call the cops, I do a police report. Police report's like, we're not gonna find the fucking guy, like, go through insurance. And my deductible was like $1,000. So I went to Proline in Garfield. They're fucking assholes. Don't ever go to that fucking body shop. They are such... Dude, they don't do good work at all. So I go to them. They go, "Yeah, no problem. 2 weeks." They gave me a loaner car for Enterprise right there. Gave me a loaner car. So I drive in the car for 2 weeks. Pay the $1,000 deductible. 2 weeks later, I go pick it up. They fix it. They gave me the receipt though, what they spent. A headlight was $3,500 for that fucking car. Yeah, it was about $12,500 in damage. Whatever,
Holy
you know.
Shit.
This is like the second month. This is the second accident, second month of me owning this fucking car. So I'm like, fuck, this car is like a bad luck car. Like, this is fucked. Like, I don't even want it anymore. Like, fucked.
Yeah.
This is where it gets worse. So I paid $1,000. I'm like, no, $1,000 fucking, you know, hit, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Next month, Jerry, I'm still 20 years old. And Jerry gets a job at Jersey City, bartending, right? So me and Raj, it was a Pacquiao fight that day too. I remember that.
Oh fuck.
So Jerry's like, come to my bar. He's like, I'm the only bartender. I'll give you like free drinks, free food, this and that, because he knows how to use the POS system and everything, right? Mm-hmm. So what do? I pick up Raj from his house, and we go to the fucking bar. So I park my car right in front of the bar, and his RS6 is parked on the side of the bar. So all night he's bartending. We're drinking, you know. I'm not too fucked up, but you know, I've been drinking. We're watching the fight, this and that, we're getting food. And it's like 1 o'clock. Fight ends. Everybody leaves the fucking bar. This and that. And Jerry's like, yo, wait for me. I'm gonna clean up, and then we're gonna go back to my house, have a couple more drinks, this and that. And I'm like, all right, we'll wait for you. So there's nobody in the bar. Bar's small. Bar's about the size of your room, maybe a little longer. So this one Mexican walks in with 2 other fat Mexican girls, right? So he knows no English. He goes to Jerry. He goes, I want like a cerveza. He goes, all right, three beers, 3 tequila shots on me. Drink, go. We're closing. The guy drinks it. He goes back to Jerry. He goes, I want another round. Jerry's like, I can't give you another round. He was a big kid back then. If I remember Jerry.
No, not really.
He's a bigger kid. He played hockey and shit. He's a big dude. And guy comes back to him and says, give me another one. And Jerry's like, I'm not going to give you another round. You guys got to leave. So this guy starts spitting on the ground. And Jerry's like, spit one more fucking time. I'm going to throw you the fuck out. He spits one more time. Jerry gets behind the bar. Throws this guy out. Physically throws this guy out the door. Right? Girls follow. He locks the door. This guy's waiting for us outside. He goes, come outside, I'll fuck you up. And Jerry's like, I have a knife, I'll stab this guy. Right? I'm like, yo, we're not stabbing nobody, bro. Like, relax. So, this guy's like a little, 90-pound Mexican dude. He's not going to do any harm to us with these, big-ass fucking Mexican girls, whatever. So finally, 2 o'clock, we walk out. The guy's waiting for us, right? He's, calling us names in Spanish, this and that. And then Jerry's like, you want to do something or what? And then he goes up to Jerry, and Jerry pulls his knife out. And he starts backing away. He's about half a block away from us, right? So Jerry's like, all right, I'm going to get in my car, get in your car, and let's just dip, right? And he sees us. The Mexican guy pulls his belt out, and he starts, whipping, the concrete and the fucking walls, the buildings and shit. So I'm like, nothing about it. So Jerry gets in his Audi. Me and Raj get in my Lexus. And that's when I was hanging out with really bad people back then. I had brass knuckles in the car. And, yeah. And I had a white hoodie on. Oh, no. I actually have a picture of us in the Jersey City PD office together, sitting there 5 a.m. So I see the guy. Raj is like, "Yo, this guy has a belt. He's going for Jerry's car." And you see the guy running. Then he looks at Jerry's car and he just turns right into my car, and I'm like, "Oh, motherfucker!" Right? And he smashes my rear window in with his belt buckle. And that's like tampered glass. So, dude, dude, I get shattered in glass. My dashboard's covered in glass. This is the back window. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, why does this just have to happen to me, right? I'm gonna fucking kill this guy. This guy's gonna, physically die, bro. So I'm like, Raj, open my glove box, give me the brass knuckles. He goes, what do you mean? I'm like, give me the fucking brass knuckles and just don't say a word, stay in the fucking car. We're gonna dip really quick, right? So he gives me the brass knuckles, I come outside, and this guy's like, he's drunk. He doesn't know what he did, right? He's shaking. He's like, "Oh my god!" He drops the belt, and I'm like, "Buddy, you gotta run." And I put the brass on. I'm like, "You gotta run, buddy." You're like, "I'm gonna fucking rock you." And Raj comes out, and Raj is wearing steel-toe fucking Timbs. So this Mexican dude, he starts running in between the cars that are parked, and I'm just walking straight. I'm walking. He's running. I'm walking straight. I clock him in the back of the head. And he falls on the sidewalk, and he's holding like this, and I'm clocking him with the brass knuckles in the back of the head. Raj pulls me out. He goes, "You're covered in blood. Your white hoodie is fucking red." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, you're right." I take the brass knuckles out. I put them in my pocket. Raj is curb stomping this guy with the steel toe boots. I get tackled. The fucking one of the Mexican bitches tackles me into a fucking brick wall, like you're standing behind. I had a big black and blue right here for a whole week. That's how hard she tackled me, like a fucking linebacker. Yeah, huge bitch. Jerry grabs this bitch, puts her against the wall. I get back in this guy. I'm punching the back of his head. Cop, undercover fucking detective has a gun to my face. He goes, "Freeze. Get up." And I'm like, "Officer, this guy broke my window. The belt's on the ground. My window is fucking on the ground too. This and that." He goes, "All right, why are you beating this guy up?" I'm like, this is the guy who hit it, So, long story short, mad cops come and everything. They go, "Yevhen, you're 20 years old. What are you doing over here?" And I'm picking up my friend from the bar. He goes, "Me and you both know if I breathalyze you, you're not going to pass." And I'm like, "Officer, I can go home." He goes, "That's what we're going to do. We're going to go separate ways. We're not going to write no police report. We're just going to leave. We're just going to leave." And I'm like, "Officer, that's great. That's great news. I'll take the $1,000 hit in the window. That's okay. As long as it's not getting no fucking DUI or anything like that, So then, I get in the car, and there's all this glass everywhere. And I'm like, "Officer, do you have a garbage bag or some broom? I can sweep this out." He gave me a broom in the garbage bag. So I'm sweeping my fucking car out. All the glass from the seat and everything. And then the guy starts resisting fucking arrest. Mexican guy.
That's the guy that got deported. I'm guessing.
Bro, it starts resisting arrest. So they go, Yevhen, listen, he's resisting arrest. Now we have to go to court.
We have to write a report.
Now we have to write a report. Now you can be lucky and get a paycheck for your window. I was like, I want to go home. He goes, no, we have to go to the Jersey City Police Department. I'm like, fuck, bro. So I drove the car. It was cold as fuck at night, too. Drove the car. Parked the car in front of the police station with a broken window. It was hilarious. I have a picture of me, Jerry, and Raj in the police station, like 5 a.m., like dying. Do the whole police report, this and that. He goes, court date is this day. So 2 weeks later, I go to court. I had to skip a day of work. Go stay in Jersey City traffic in the morning. Go to court. He doesn't show up. Right? Court's rescheduled 2 weeks later. I'm like, fuck. Go to my boss. I'm like, I gotta go to court another 2 weeks later. He goes, all right. So I miss another day of work. Go 2 weeks later. There's no Spanish translator. Another 2 weeks. Right?
Wow.
So I'm like, fuck. The other 2 weeks, and the next day, that morning I get home. My parents are like, where's your window? I'm like, somebody broke it, this and that. Never told them the real story, right? And I'm like, fuck, like Monday morning comes, I'm at work, and I'm like, how hard is it to find the window for a brand new Lexus, right? Nobody has it. Nobody fucking has it, right? So finally, I call this place in Montclair. It's like a mobile place. They come to you. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, like, would you have a window for like a brand new Lexus? Like, they go, $900. We come to your house, install it, and we clean the glass up. I was like, $900. You sure you have this glass? Because I called like 5 companies, nobody had it. No, we have it. We can come tomorrow morning and everything done. I'm like, all right, I'll leave the car tomorrow morning, leave the cash for my mom, take my mom's car to work, whatever.
Do it. Yeah.
They did it. But like they vacuumed the glass out. There was still glass. Like I'll put the defrosters on, and there was still glass flying out of the fucking vents and dashboard, and the carpet's still like you can never get the glass out. It's impossible. So that happened. Third court day. I go to court. I get to the judge, this and that, and the judge is reading off his rap sheet. He goes, Mr. Blah blah blah. This is like your 5th offense. You're here on a fucking green card. He goes, you're getting deported, this and that, blah blah blah. Yevhen, you're gonna get how much? Show me the receipt for the window. Give him the receipt. The court favors you in like $900, this and that, blah blah blah. He gets deported. I never get paid. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Wait, why not?
Because he has to pay me. He got deported.
Oh, he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have no money, man.
He got deported.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He's here on like a work visa. And it's like his 5th offense. He keeps doing this shit. Yeah. So he gets deported. And then now, this is the third problem with my Lexus. 3 months, third issue. Then, I'm at a car meet with the Chipotle meets back in the day. Those are the best. Those were the best. Those are the meets we started, bro. The best meets. That's when we had burnout pits for an hour, and the cops didn't come for 1 hour. And next to JCPenney, there was burnout marks for months over there. And we would get there. We would start doing burnouts and be like, yo, we have 1 more hour till the cops come. We made Mexicans in work trucks, and like those landscaping trucks do burnouts. Yeah. We were just lighting them up. And that's when I had the Lexus, so cops came, and when cops come, people start like dipping, like Fast and Furious, but like, cops are never gonna get out of their fucking car. Like, stay in your fucking car, just dip regularly. So I'm driving out, and I'm next to that Firestone, where that really steep hill is next to the Firestone. Bro, like a Honda Civic, like a shitbox Civic cuts me off, and instead of me hitting him, I hop that ginormous curb. Destroy, bend the wheel, fucking pop the tire, the whole 9.
But don't you have the warranty?
Exactly. And I was with a girl. I had a really nice girl in the fucking passenger. She's like, I feel bad for your car. I was like, don't worry about it. I got the warranty, whatever. So the next day, I put the spare on. The next day, I go to the dealer. I'm like, I go to the service desk. I'm like, I have wheel, tire, and visa. He goes, we don't offer that here. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I have the paperwork right here. Like, I brought my folder with me. They go, I don't know where you got this, but this is like third party shit. And I'm like, I got this directly from Lexus. Like, I signed for this shit at Lexus like 3 months ago. There's no fucking way. They go, we don't know what it is. So I had to call the manager. Manager came down, no, we're going to take care of it. Don't worry about it, blah, blah, blah. Took them a month to get me the fucking rim and tire. And they didn't get me a new one. They refurbished. Yeah. And you can see such a shitty spray paint job on it, bro. It was horrible. They got me a new tire, though. So I put that on, whatever. And then the final accident, bro. I get T-boned. So hard, the car splits in half. I have a picture of the car. And it was bad, bro. Dude, she hit me so hard. I was at a stop sign, and I didn't see her coming because I thought she was gonna turn. There was a car turning into my lane, and she was behind it. And I didn't think this car would switch lanes while this other car was turning, so I went. It was my fault. So I had the stop sign. So when I went, she was going over 40, 50 in the little fucking minivan like you had before.
Yeah, the Grand Caravan.
Hit me in my driver's door so hard that, you know when you're playing Call of Duty and you throw a grenade, you go,
yeah, fuck, man.
I woke up I guess like my head hit back, and I this is why I'm against seatbelts. To this day, I still don't wear seatbelts.
Oh, this
and
is the actual okay.
Yeah, and I never wear seatbelts. Never wear seatbelts. Never will wear seatbelts. And every time I get pulled over, they never ask for a seatbelt.
Never do, yeah.
So if I was wearing a seatbelt that day, I would have got whiplashed. And I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and the F Sport has these racing bucket seats.
Bucket seats, yeah.
And I sit so far back in those seats that when I opened my eyes, I had an airbag here, like 2 inches away from my face, airbag here, and airbags here. Like, apparently 15 airbags deployed in that whole fucking car. It was crazy. And I couldn't hear anything, and I couldn't see because of smoke of the airbag smoke. And I'm like, the first thing in my head, I'm like, my dad's gonna fucking kill me. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, this car's totaled. Fuck. So I try opening the door. I can't open the door, and I can't hear anything. And the next thing I hear is like OnStar. Like, you were all in the crash, and I'm like, yeah. Like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, but I can't open the fucking door. You know, I was wearing my SnapOn jacket. And then finally, some guy like saw the accident. He comes, he rips the door open. He goes, "You're okay. Stay in the car." And I'm like, my nigga, like, let me get out of the car. Like, no, stay in the car. You know, I get out of the car. Apparently, when the woman hit me, she hopped the guardrail into the forest. I couldn't see her car when I got out of the car. So I get out of the car and I'm covered in dust. Wipe myself off and I look at the car, and the car is literally like a V. Yeah. And it was direct hit into my door. A V. That's how safe those cars are. It's crazy.
Holy fuck.
And I'm like, damn, this car's fucked. I'm like, if I finally fucking killed itself, I'm like, there you go. Like, oh, whatever, insurance is going to pay me out. You know, I'm going to probably break even. Who the fuck knows, right? So I'm like, fuck. The other guy goes into the other car. Other car's in the forest. They're fine. EMT's like a block away. It's a Cedar Grove on the border. EMT comes, and the EMT's like, who's the owner of the vehicle? I'm like, me. And they go, you were in the car? I was like, yeah, I was driving the car. They go, there's no way. I'm like, what's up? They go, we have to take you, like, your blood pressure, you gotta go to the hospital. I was like, I'm not going to the fucking hospital. And I had brass knuckles in the car. I had all this stupid shit in the car. And I was worried about the car. And I was like, where are you taking the car? Oh, we're going to take it to the tow yard here. And I'm like, give me the address to the fucking tow yard. I need my, like, work uniform out of the fucking car or whatever. So they were towing it, like, literally, like, 2 towns over. It wasn't even that far. But it was also, like, 7 o'clock at night. And the ambulance people are like, we need to take your blood pressure. And I'm like, I'm not going to the hospital. I was like, take your blood pressure and we'll let you leave if it's under a certain amount. It was at 198 or something.
You're pumping.
I was pumping. They go, you have to go to the hospital. I was like, this is like a night out for me. This is nothing crazy. You know? And then while I'm sitting there, they're patting me down. And I'm like, why are you patting me? Because we don't believe you were in the car.
Yeah.
Because that's a really bad accident and there's no way you have no scratches on you. So the first thing I did, I called Ivan. Ivan lived in the Little Falls house down the street. So he came. He was the first one to come for me. And I go outside smoking a cigarette. And the ambulance people are like, if you're under 160, we'll let you go. And I'm like, give me 5 minutes smoking a cigarette. Talking to Ivan. Ivan's like, so how fucked are you? I was like, I'm fucked. We have to go to the impound yard right now. Like, get all the shit out of the car. I'm like, fuck. And so like 5 minutes later, I go back to the thing. I'm like 159. They go, we don't recommend you sign it. I'm like, sign the paperwork. I'm not going to the fucking hospital. They go, well, in 15 days, if you have an issue, please call us, you know, this and that. I'm like, I'm not going to, I'm paranoid to hospitals. I used to date one nurse, and she used to get mad for me not going to see her at work because the minute I walked into the hospital, I would faint from the smell.
Yes.
I'm paranoid as fucking hospitals. I hate that fucking smell. So fucking, and then I'm getting off the ambulance, and I see this big woman in a stretcher, right? And I'm like, how are you? She goes, oh, I'm paralyzed, blah blah blah. But she was acting a fool, and then she was definitely on her phone while the accident was happening, because there's no way that she didn't see me pulling out. Because the first thing she said, she goes, where's my phone? I need my phone. And her phone was like broken during the accident. She's definitely had it in her hand or something.
Yeah. So
I'm like, damn, like I feel bad for this lady. I'm like, fuck, like, you know, like shit, like it's my fault, you know. I go to Ivan's car. I go to the impound yard, and the impound yard's closed. I go to the front desk. There's a little old lady there. I'm like, listen, can I grab my work uniform from my car? They go, you have to come back at 8 a.m. And I'm like, listen, like you don't know my boss. So he gets really mad if I don't have a uniform. That's when I used to work for Firestone, my first job. And they go, I don't know. Let me ask my boss. So the boss comes out. He's like, who you work for? I was like, Rob in Firestone. They go, oh yeah, I know that guy. He's a dick, bro. Yeah, go get a uniform. Yeah, he's a scary motherfucker, right? And I'm like, oh, at least somebody knows him, right? The guy was a dick, but he retired. He retired at 45 with millions because he charged people He charged his parents for like washer fluid, bro. Like he would, God forbid you poured washer fluid in the car coming in for an oil change, he would take it out of your paycheck. The washer fluid that he would get a gallon of water and put 2 blue tablets in it, and that would freeze over wintertime, and then he would sell him fucking $300 the fucking washer pump and the washer tank. That's how he make his money. Yeah. And people think, oh, it's common for my shit to like freeze. No, it's not. And they got used to it because they've been going for this place for 30 years. So they're used to their car breaking. It's not the car breaking. It's the fucking shit parts, shit mechanics, shit parts we're using. And I get my uniform and I have a little box. I'm just throwing all the illegal shit in the box, anything that you can't find. This car's stolen. I'm never getting this car back. Yeah. So I took all my things out of it, and Ivan drives me home. And Ivan's like, "You want me to come inside the house?" I'm like, "No, like, my parents are gonna fucking read me a new one, right?" So I get in the house. My dad's still at home. My mom's there. My mom's like, "Where's the car?" I was like, "Totaled." She goes, "What do you mean?" I was like, "It's totaled." And she goes, "Yo, your dad's gonna fucking kill you." And I'm like, "I know." Dad comes home. He's like, "You fucking dumb fuck. You're wasting your money." I'm like, "Dad, you're the one who told me to buy a fucking brand new car, you piece of shit. I could have been driving my junk around instead of having money in the bank, you know." Then, whatever, you know, the next day I call insurance. Insurance is like, all right, like, no, I call insurance. Insurance is like, we'll be the judge if it's totaled. I'm like, no, I'm like, my guy, it's totaled. Listen, we've seen some shit. It's hard to total out these brand new cars. And I'm like, my guy, it's totaled. He goes, we're going to be there in like 4 days from now. We're going to see the car. And then, I call Lexus. I tell Lexus the car's totaled. Like, stop the payments, this and that. Like, all right, we're going to contact the insurance. So like a week goes by. The insurance guy calls me. He's like, all right, we're gonna set the appointment up to look at your car. Insurance guy gets to the car. He goes, you were in the car? I'm like, yeah. He goes, this is totaled. I don't even know why I'm here. Yeah. I'm like, I told you over the phone it's totaled. They go, that's a pretty bad accident, bro. Like, you were in the car. I was like, yeah. He goes, you're fucking lucky, man. And the last thing I did, I still have it in my toolbox. I pried out the F Sport badge from the fender. I still have it. And I said, fuck this car. Never again. I'm getting a fucking brand new car ever again. Yeah, my ass. And Lexus calls me. They go, there's an issue. You had no gap insurance. And gap insurance is when you buy a brand new car, and the minute you drive it off of the lot, there's like a $10,000 depreciation because now it's used. So if you do total a car that same day, gap insurance, which you pay $7 a month for, it'll take care of that X amount that you still owe for the car. So you pretty much break free. Mm-hmm. So Lexus is like, there's no gap insurance. But for you to decline gap insurance, you have to sign a paper to decline gap insurance, which I never had. I never had the paper for the gap insurance, never had a paper to decline gap insurance, right? So Lexus is like, you still owe us like $8,000 more fucking dollars. And they go, well, you can still pay it off in 2.5 years because your lease is 2.5 years long still. And I'm like, bro, why the fuck do I owe you $8,000 more? Go fucking suck my dick, you know? And finally, we got into some like arguments. They were wrong, so I could have countersued them, or I could have sued them for not giving me the gap. So we just called it even. So what did I lose? I lost my $2,500 down and my 6 months of payments, or $680, to drive a car for 6 months and having issues with it. And then what did I do? I worked a little bit, and then I was gonna buy a Raptor with Nick. That's another crazy story.
That's for next time, though.
Yeah, and then I ended up getting the Silverado.
Not a bad
And the day
story.
I got it, that's when we went upstate. I have a picture. The day I got it, the day we got it, me and Nick got it. Mm-hmm. I loaded the quad up, one of your quads, and we went right upstate. And Dad's like, "Yo, you got a brand new truck." And everybody's like, "You got a brand new truck." And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?"
I generally don't remember this though.
I have a picture of it. Dude, it's like 2015, man. This is a long time ago.
You know,
this was almost 7 years ago, 6 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah. All right, guys, but
we'll get back into
at that point. We'll definitely have Yevhen back again
for round two.
Maybe round 4 or 5.
I can write a book, man. I can write a whole YouTube channel.
You definitely good.
Yeah.
Do you have any shout-outs you want to do or anything?
Shout out to Thatcher House, Sebastian. Number one guy.
Film one there.
You gotta get him over here. Him and his girlfriend.
Oh no, we want to get one with Olivia at one of the tables at Tatra.
Olivia, she's a horrible interviewer, but you gotta get Sebastian. You gotta get Sebastian. You gotta get Sebastian with sauce too. You gotta get it right at the bar.
Oh yes.
Like nice. Him and Claudia. Olivia, you gotta stay away from Olivia, man.
Well,
why you want her?
You're not.
Nah, because you gotta make sure Wojtek's over there, right?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, shout out to Thatcher House, and that's it. Fuck everybody else.
Alright, sounds good.
That's it.
Alright,
Thank you
thanks
for
for
listening
coming.
and thank you for watching. Good
Alright,
night.
Appreciate it,
peace
guys.
out.